right, Kevin. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Sonos. It's Saturday night in South Florida, and welcome to Hard Rock Stadium. 18th ranked NC State looking to stay perfect in conference play. The Hurricanes trying to get that first league win. They're coming off two heartbreaking losses. Good evening, Anish Shroff, Mike Golick Jr., Taylor McGregor is down on the sideline. Halfway through the season, you sort of sort out the ACC. Wade's unbeaten. Pittsburgh is the team to beat in the Coastal. They beat Clemson earlier today. And NC State is in that group as a team that can win an ACC championship.
And we all know styles make fights. Wake Forest, Pitt, both doing it right now with great offense, dynamic quarterback play. Devin Leary's been strong for NC State, but this team has been getting it done with dominant defense so far. A veteran group on that side of the ball. And look at that number right in the middle. Number one in the country on third down. They've been money when it counts.
That defense has a little extra motivation tonight after the comments made by Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke earlier in the week.
NC State has a great defense, whether they top something in the country, top whatever. I mean, that doesn't matter. It's still the same guys we played last year. We put up 44 points last year on them. They have a different type of wrinkles on the defense, but yeah, we feel really confident. I mean, if we just come out in the second half of both those games, you know, I don't think they can really stop us. So just got to start there.
Bold strategy, Cotton, for one of the young leaders of this Miami core, but Anish, maybe just what the doctor ordered as they try and right the ship.
Van Dyke making his fourth career start, third in the ACC. De'Ara King, the starting quarterback, out for the season. Taylor, you spoke to Tyler Van Dyke earlier in the week.
I did, and for context, I spoke to him before he made those comments, and he told me that his team is at its best when their confidence is high, and so all week long he challenged himself to really play with that confidence, and in turn, hopeful that it will ooze into the rest of his offense. So I think that's what he was trying to do there. Now, did his coaches like the fact that he gave this NC State defense extra juice? Not really, but they appreciated what he was trying to do. Now, I did ask NC State defensive end Daniel Joseph what he thought. He said, I have no words. I'll let the play do the talking. So how about that for some drama, guys?
NC State head coach Dave Doran told us Van Dyke better be ready for what's coming. The plot thickens before kickoff. From Miami Gardens, it's the ACC on ESPN. NC State making its first trip to play a road game against Miami since 2012. There's Manny Diaz. He has weathered some criticism the last few weeks. A 2-4 start. The Vultures are Miami, swirling, and if he can get a win tonight in front of the home fans, boy, does that take the temperature down for Diaz.
Quality ranked opponent in NC State coming into your building. And you have to give Miami credit. We have seen in the second half of both these last two games a lot of fight in this team that indicates to me you haven't lost the group that's in the locker room right now, and that's huge.
Manny Diaz telling us there's a good team in that locker room. We're at the midpoint of the season. They're 2-4. Expectations were high, a preseason top 15 team. We'll see if Miami can unlock the talent they feel that they have. The Hurricanes won the toss and will defer. NC State will receive. Zonovan Knight back deep in the game against Miami last year. He ran a kick back 100 yards for a touchdown. And Andres Borregales to send it away. Canes in the black jerseys, orange numbers. Road whites, red numbers for NC State. And the Wolfpack will take it out at the 25-yard line. Devin Leary, the quarterback for NC State, was hurt last year, missed the second half of the season. When we saw him against Mississippi State, he struggled. In the 4 games since, he's been exactly what this offense has needed.
This team thought everybody pressed a little bit in that Mississippi State game. And what have we seen since? Devin Leary played clean, productive football here. 12 touchdowns, no picks in the last 4 games. He's been dynamite.
Empty set, Knight split wide. Leary will come out throwing. And the pressure getting to Devin Leary as we take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Jared.
Yeah, for NC State on offense, want to see this team stress Miami on the perimeter. Miami's defense had a tough time tackling in space, and just that on the opposite side for the Hurricanes. You got to get hats to the ball. We hear Manny Diaz talk about the Pete Carroll Seahawks tackling they teach here. That requires a lot of bodies attacking the football.
On second down, the give is to Zonovan Knight, and he is engulfed for a loss of 5. Jafari Harvey led the charge. And you mentioned it, Miami came into this game statistically the worst tackling team in the country. They lead the nation in missed tackles. They allow 3+ yards after contact. We're going to see some younger guys. Manny Diaz says, hey, if the old guys can't get it done, it's on the freshmen. On third and long, Larry's got time in the pocket toward the sideline, and that's going to be well shy of the marker. Porter Rooks driven back, and again, only a couple of plays there. Miami flying to the ball, though, on defense.
That's exactly what's been missing. We've seen guys in position to make plays, but it's been one guy. It's been running through arm tackles, so now all of a sudden you get all those black jerseys swarming to the football. If you're NC State, don't let this Miami defense, especially this young talent, get energized early.
Jacoby George to return the Trenton Gill punt. George took over as punt returner last week, and he's got a chance here. Pushed out of bounds across the 25-yard line. Tyler Van Dyke took over when De'Ara King got hurt in the Michigan State game, making his third start last couple of weeks. It's been a tale of two halves. A struggle in the first half, much better in Miami comebacks in the second half.
We had a chance to talk to Rhett Lashley, their offensive coordinator, and he said they had a one-on-one meeting, and he asked his quarterback, what do you need from me early in the games? Are you a guy that needs to get hit to get the juices flowing? Do you want to throw it deep like Coach Lashley used to want to? That's going to be the challenge, how to manufacture energy early in these drives.
And movement, it looks like the receiver, Keyshawn Smith.
False start, offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, first down.
One of the impact players tonight for Miami, running back Jalen Knighton. He's now the lead back with Cam Harris out for the season.
The most explosive player in this backfield, even when Cam was healthy.
Van Dyke will throw. He's got Charleston Rambo and the Oklahoma transfer tackled immediately. A gain of 5 as we take a look at all the impact players brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
You're going to sense a theme here. It's the youth movement for Miami, especially on offense. Keyshawn Vaughn, who we saw on the false start there, had a connection that started to work out. 7 catches last week against North Carolina. Jalen Knighton, we know, and it's all about the linebackers for NC State, that core without Peyton Wilson.
Third down and a 10 coming up.
They're rolling on the field.
Taylor McGregor talked to Tony Gibson before the game, and Van Dyke's comments were a big part of the conversation. Taylor, what did Tony Gibson, the DC for NC State, tell you?
They want to get after him all night long. Look for the blitz. They really feel like they can take advantage of him back there, the young quarterback, not to mention they're hungry after the comments he made.
Van Dyke floats it downfield for Harley, who makes the catch and stays in bounds. Mike Harley, third all-time in receptions at Miami, behind only Stacy Coley and the great Reggie Wayne.
You saw them sort the junk up front. They sent 5 for them. That offensive line gave him time. The quarterback delivered.
A little tempo now. Van Dyke, he's going to Uncle Rico this downfield. A lot of contact. Looked like Rambo may have pushed the defender. It's incomplete, and there is a flag down at the 41-yard line of NC State.
Holding, defense, number 10. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Tanner Engel, the safety.
And I thought Tyler Van Dyke, when you look on tape, throws a nice deep ball, has good touch on those passes. They tried to start the game with the flea flicker last week, and you'll see right here the holding going on in the play on the big tight end, Will Mallory. But going deep, I think, to settle him down early, let him do the things he does well as a young guy.
A big arm out of Glastonbury, Connecticut. And there is Keyshawn Smith, brought down by Shaheen Battle. You mentioned Smith, 7 catches, a career high last week. He was targeted often.
When you have a quarterback change mid-season like that, Anish, we knew Charleston Rambo was the name coming over here, but he got a lot of those 1 reps with De'Aaron King in at quarterback here. You've had young guys that have probably been working with the second team, on the scout team during this season, showing off that connection on the big stage now.
Now they've come out throwing. High snap. Van Dyke to the air again. Now he'll tuck and run. And slides down, and it will give him the first down. So after some first half struggles offensively against Virginia, against North Carolina, an impressive opening drive so far by Miami.
Tyler Van Dyke a little more mobile than you think. No one's going to mistake him for De'Aaron King back there, but Tony Gibson, the defensive coordinator for NC State, said it. If you're not careful, he's got just enough to beat you. A true sneaky athlete.
Now, they told Van Dyke, stop holding back, let it rip. They thought he was finessing too many passes in the first half against Virginia and UNC. On 1st and 10, Van Dyke again to the air. Looking for 6. And incomplete. He overthrew Xavier Restrepo, second-year freshman who Miami wants to get more touches.
That's called letting it rip right there, Anish. That time just great coverage, double teamed right there, trying to fit that into a window he couldn't find.
They were telling us Van Dyke very much a perfectionist. And one thing he's got to get comfortable with is when plays like that happen, or if you have a negative play, not to dwell on it, move on from it.
And that's why I think that first 3rd down was so big, not only for him to settle down, but to also take some of the teeth out of this defense. We know they want to come at you. What stops a coordinator from calling blitzes? Picking it up early.
Again to the air. There's Mallory, the tight end, who fights his way to the 25-yard line. It sets up 3rd and short. And you look at the play selection. Van Dyke has thrown it 6 times, and then there was a quarterback keeper. Let's see if they run it here on 3rd and short. To the air again. Pressure coming. One-on-one downfield. Caught for a touchdown. Flag down. It's Charleston Rambo.
Pass interference, defense number 3. Penalties declined. Touchdown.
There's the fast start. This Hurricane team's been looking for one-on-one with Charleston Rambo, the Oklahoma transfer, and watch the concentration through contact. Going deep to manufacture some of that energy. Tyler Van Dyke playing free, his offensive line giving him time, all there on the first drive for the U.
The PAT is good. A 9-play, 75-yard drive. 8 of the plays passes.
Give him that RPO look. Let him go up to the best receiver on your team and put his team up early. 7-0 Canes.
3rd touchdown catch of the season by Charleston Rambo, and Miami picking on Aiden White, the second-year freshman cornerback, getting the start today for NC State.
Second-year freshman against Charleston Rambo, who's played a lot of big-time Power 5 football, who was a huge target for De'Aaron King, and now proving just as valuable for Tyler Van Dyke.
Van Dyke, 5 of 8 on that drive, certainly walking the walk after the Tuesday comments.
You got to back it up. If you're going to write that check, come to the bank with all of us and cash that thing.
Next week, Saturday Night Football takes us to the Big Ten, presented by Capital One. Penn State coming off that 9-overtime loss to Illinois. Yes, 9 overtimes. They'll take on Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on Indiana in Bloomington. That game over on ABC.
I know the new overtime rules came in for player safety. You want to shorten the length of these games. The byproduct is we can get some freaky overtime numbers. I'm waiting for the 15 overtime game. It is coming. Book that.
Got 9 today, Illinois winning. Big win for Brett Bielema in his first season as the head coach there. Ricky Person in the backfield for NC State's second drive. And he gets the call running to the left side. Again hit for a loss, and that's the book on NC State. The strength of the O-line is the left side. Ike Ekwonu at left tackle. Their left guard today, Chandler Zavala, is out, so Dylan McMahon moves over from right guard to left guard, and they've got Grant Gibson at center. They like to go left.
We've talked, too, about Miami's defense, all the struggles. They're still 15th in the country in tackles for loss through 7 weeks. They know how to get up the field.
At NC State again, behind the chains. Canes bringing pressure. Leary gets rid of it, incomplete. Let's check in with Kevin in the studio.
All right, Anish, your Rocket Mortgage studio update. Take a look at what's going on in T-Town. Hendon Hooker to Javonte Payton-Mack.
Love to see it. A little rock step there by Hendon, then delivering the strike. Wide receiver does the rest.
14-7 Vols lead over on ESPN. Anish.
Oklahoma today got a scare. Cincinnati, the number 2 team in the country, got a scare. And a flag down. These fans have been loud.
False start, offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's had an effect early on. NC State against Mississippi State said they felt like they pressed. You don't want to see shades of that again early for this team. Miami hasn't busted out the turnover chain much this year. They are itching to go grab that thing in front of that 0-1 team that's in the house right now.
Only 5 takeaways in 6 games. 3-man pressure. Leary is hit, gets rid of it. And NC State 3 and out again. Person the reception. Tyreek Stevenson, the Georgia transfer, with the tackle. And Devin Leary took a huge hit on that play.
Keontre Smith, who's back in business for this Miami defense, a missile downhill, and you see Leary struggling right now. Talking to Ben Finley as backup, but go back to this play. Smith there triggering because the running back stayed in coverage. Whew, that's a shot.
Gill will punt it away. George retreats inside his own 15. And denied the edge by NC State. 9:17 to go, first quarter. Miami with a 7-0 lead at home.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Sonos. Experience game-changing sound made easy. And in part by B. It's what's for dinner.
They will honor the 2001 Miami Hurricanes national championship team tonight at halftime. Greatest team ever, 38 NFL draft picks, 17 first-round picks. Down to Taylor.
In between that series right there, Ben Finley warming up for NC State because Devin Leary came off, had the wind knocked out of him. He is without his helmet right now, and Finley is talking to Tim Beck. So something to keep our eyes on when NC State comes back on offense.
Wow.
Miami getting to the quarterback early, Anish. That defensive line was living behind the line of scrimmage. See if the offense can capitalize again.
Rambo, who had the touchdown catch, in motion. And Van Dyke again to the air. He's going to send it downfield for Restrepo. Incomplete. Oh, they're letting it rip. They're taking shots downfield. Jakeem Harris, the safety, in coverage that time.
It's the second time they've gone after Jakeem Harris with Xavier Restrepo. The second time, or the first time, excuse me, down in the red zone prior. We got to keep our eyes out on Aiden White, though. Again, number 3 matched up with Charleston Rambo on the right side outside of this formation here. They attacked that matchup for the touchdown last drive.
First carry of the game for Jalen Knighton, and he stopped after a short gain. They call him Rooster. Suspended the first 4 games of the season. 2 games back, Virginia and North Carolina. And there's an injured NC State player down at the 15-yard line. It's Isaiah Moore, who's the heartbeat of that defense. And remember, the ACC's leading tackler from a season ago, Peyton Wilson, already out for the season for NC State.
We'll keep an eye out on this one. Moore down on the field for NC State. We'll be back in a second.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. Well, bad news for NC State. Isaiah Moore, their leader, their captain, their middle linebacker, taken into the tent. Already this defense without Peyton Wilson, the ACC's top tackler last year. Nose tackle C.J. Clark out for the season as well, and so is defensive back Cyrus Fagan. Little speed option here, and Rooster takes it across the 20-yard line. It brings up 4th down. Drake Thomas the stop. Here's the injury.
You're going to see Moore, number 1 in white, coming downhill on this play. Scrapes over the top and just gets twisted up in that pile.
What's the impact on this defense?
It's massive. You mentioned the losses at all 3 levels. What Peyton Wilson already meant to that group. Tony Gibson, their defensive coordinator, said if I ever went down, Isaiah Moore could call this defense for us. He is that cerebral of a player and the one that's been getting this dominant group lined up and in the right spot.
Lou Headley, the 28-year-old Australian, one of the best punters in the country, sends this away. It takes a Miami roll and downed at about the 32. They could have let that roll perhaps a little more. And let's see who comes out at quarterback for NC State. Devin Leary looks like he's going to come back out. He had the wind knocked out of him on that last series in the huddle with offensive coordinator Tim Beck.
So what have we seen the first 2 drives for NC State? Miami getting upfield, tackles for lost on 1st and 2nd down. If I'm NC State, who's majored in outside zone for a long time, mix in a gap run, get some pullers on the loose, try and crease this defense that wants to get upfield.
Leary's throw toward the far sideline. It's Rooks with his 2nd catch, a gain of 3. That was the 7th play run on offense by NC State. Only the 3rd time they've had positive yardage.
This is the one area that can get you in trouble, Miami. NC State is an offense. We know Devin Leary's played clean, but they're never going to wow you. They want to stay on schedule. A 3-yard gain doesn't look like much, but that's huge for the mentality and the psyche of this offense right now.
Leary again checks down. It's Zonovan Knight, and he is wrapped up. Tyreek Stevenson, it's a loss of 1, another negative play. Taylor.
Isaiah Moore out of the 10. He's running here on the sideline, keeps touching his left knee. And now he is going back into the tent. We'll continue to keep our eyes on him.
All right, thanks, Taylor. 3rd down. NC State still looking for its first down. 3rd offensive series. Miami showing blitz. The safety, James Williams, coming in. Over the middle. That's caught. It's Tootle across midfield and into Miami territory. A gain of 20. Cameron Kinchins made the tackle.
Great job knowing you're going to get pressure, man coverage behind. And you see the pick by the referee that ends up springing Tuttle on that play. Big 1st down.
Christopher Tootle, 6'4", converted wide out, plays tight end. Rooks wide open, slips a defender. And a red zone opportunity for NC State. 27 more.
What did we see? Ignite Miami's offense the first drive. Big 3rd down conversion off a great blitz pickup. It's not hard. You got to see the ball go through the basket, for lack of a better term, as an offense for that first time. And now Leary and company in the red zone. Lean on your strengths here. This is an area. Get the ball back to your running backs. Let this offensive line maul now with some momentum.
Zonovan Knight off the left hip of Leary. And Leary with nowhere to go. Looked like a broken play, maybe miscommunication.
Yeah, wasn't ready for the snap here. And thankfully, that's as bad as it was here. Grant Gibson, their center, gives it to Leary a little bit early while he's looking to change the play. Thankfully, he has the wherewithal, manages to make the catch and get down on this one. Beautiful shot of it from the blue. Love that.
Another 2nd and long for NC State. Trips to the field. Leary, high throw, too high for the 6'4" Devin Carter. And it's 3rd and long, and let's see if Miami dials up the pressure again.
You can see them getting some fresh bodies on the field here. And I think, Anish, in this area of the field, we could see them back off a little bit. You've got a condensed spot side of the field now. Drop 8 back in coverage. Challenge Devin Leary to fit it into a small window.
Thayer Thomas coming off a career game. He's in the slot. And a timeout by Dave Doran. Play clock was down to 5. 3rd and 14 for NC State. Tomorrow we kick off week 7 of the NFL with Sunday Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern. Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff squaring off Sunday. Stafford, his Rams, only 1 loss. Goff, his Lions, winless, trading places, and Jared Goff getting a taste of what a lot of Detroit Lions fans have drank for quite a few years.
Dan Campbell calling out his quarterback very publicly.
Monday night, Saints Seahawks, and guess who's back? Peyton and Eli.
Whew. Gonna be a spicy one there. Eli Manning bringing a little zest to the Monday night broadcast. Gotta enjoy the brotherly banter there.
I got his jersey retired today.
Seeing Manning displayed in big bold letters all over that campus sends quite a message.
3rd and 14. Larry's got Thayer Thomas. And he's spun down at the 15-yard line by James Williams, the 6'5" safety. It'll bring up 4th down. Williams has started the last several weeks. They feel he's got a chance to be a special player in this Miami secondary.
He was the number 4 outside linebacker coming out of high school. But we see that all over college football. Notre Dame playing USC tonight. Kyle Hamilton, a big-bodied safety that if you can get with the way college is, the NFL uses tight ends big time.
Christopher Dunn can become NC State's all-time leader in scoring with this kick. And his field goal attempt is good. And he passes Nicholas Sadie as the school's all-time point leader. Been a bounce-back couple of weeks for Dunn. Remember the Clemson game, which NC State won? He missed 3 field goals, including a chance to win it at the end of the game. But he bounced back nicely, and Dave Doran was impressed with his resolve in the weeks after that.
And that's the difference with a veteran kicker who you know has been through so many of those moments. Kicking such a mental deal during practice. We'd look down and see them off on their own field, working on all these things. It's a lonely business, and so having the fortitude to bounce back from that, such a big weapon for a team that we know wants to make their living on defense, not turning the ball over on offense. Dave Doran's got a formula. That's a big part of it.
A touchback. NC State seeking its first ACC title since 1979. They blanked South Florida in week 1. We had them in Starkville, a loss to Mississippi State. Bounced back with a win against FCS Furman. Huge win September 25th at home against Clemson. Little lackluster, but they found a way to beat Louisiana Tech last week, knocking off Boston College. Really impressive. As somebody who lives in North Carolina and has a lot of NC State friends, they'll tell you, hey, the history of this program is often defined by getting your hopes up only to see them squashed sometimes. But they've handled success this year. After the Clemson game, even though they didn't play their best, still finding ways to win.
And doing it with a lot of resiliency. We've talked about what they've faced on the defensive side of the football, as we see Derek Pitts now jogging off the field after the tackle there.
And Aiden White comes back in. 2nd and 9 after a gain of a yard by Jalen Knighton.
No Isaiah Moore for them on the field right now. It's another loss. And we know this unit is about team defense. Guys tied together on a string. A lot of the 3-3-5 action we see throughout all of college football to defend these spreads.
Van Dyke under pressure, sacked by Drake Thomas.
Drake Thomas looking around for name tags right now for the guys out there with him. Gets matched up with Will Mallory, the tight end there, and leaving tight ends one-on-one in pass protection. Usually not a good idea. You see 32 Drake Thomas here matched up on the perimeter. Will Mallory stepping down, overshooting it. He only pass blocks part-time, and now we get a 3rd and long where this NC State defense really thrives.
31, Vi Jones has come in for Isaiah Moore. NC State, the best 3rd down defense in the country. Van Dyke looking for a northwest passage. It's not there. He gets about the original line of scrimmage. It's 4th down. And for an update on Isaiah Moore, here's Taylor.
He just came out of the tent, was running up and down here on the sideline. He now has a brace on that left knee. He has his helmet, and athletic trainer Justin Smith gave me the thumbs up. They think he's going to be good to go.
We'll watch. We'll watch. That's huge for NC State. And this defense has now forced back-to-back 3-and-outs. That is what they do. They force a 3-and-out on almost 50% of their opponent's possessions.
They've been dominant, 6th in the country. Dominant in that regard, and huge for an offense that's looking to get back on track now.
Thayer Thomas, all ACC punt returner, slips the initial tackle, cuts it back, flag down as Thomas is tripped up at the 32.
You see the protest from 12 and White here, but it's going to be a block in the back against NC State.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 12. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Go back and take a look at the return. You see Boykin right here. Get him in the back, throwing up your hands, almost the universal sign for I did it, and I don't want you to believe that I did it. And it's tough on these punt returns. You see whether it's trying to avoid the blindside blocks or the block in the back. The onus put on these guys to make smart decisions is tough.
And now NC State 1st downs. They have not fared well early on against Miami.
Got to stop penetration first and foremost.
Person up the gut, stood up.
I've been impressed with the physicality of Miami's front 7 to start this game. Corey Flagg, number 11, coming down, setting a strong tone. Wayman Steed, all of these linebackers are playing downhill and unafraid. NC State's going to have to start mixing up the play calling on early downs here. Miami is teeing off on these runs early in the series.
2nd and 8. Keon Lesane in motion. And Lesane gets to the 19-yard line, a gain of about 4. It sets up 3rd down. Just sensing a different energy, a different fire from this Miami defense than the last couple of weeks.
And better tackling so far. It's execution. It's being in position and making the play.
Larry's got time. He'll chuck it downfield. And incomplete, too far for Carter. 4th down.
Devin Carter, who's been a more consistent deep threat for them as of late here right now. They look out of sorts. And again, we talked about Miami's tackling issues. Those
Number
double
15
screens
in
are
Miami.
going to have to be crucial for NC State in this game. You have got to challenge this group to not make these plays once or twice, but to tackle consistently for 4 quarters.
Gill will punt from his own 5, and George waits at about his own 30. Bouncing at the 30, it takes a Wolfpack bounce and dies at the 24. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. They've been loud here today at Hard Rock Stadium. Not a full house, but they've been noisy, they've been loud.
You got the fast start you were finally looking for.
And Isaiah Moore is back in the game for that Wolfpack defense.
To counter on that other side, and even if he is a step slower right now, Anish, the communication in the middle, the young guys that have had to step up with Peyton Wilson out, now getting the benefit of that leadership.
Corner blitz, it's a run, and Knighton tackled in his tracks, a gain of 2. It's Drake Thomas again.
Drake Thomas plays like his hair is on fire. We know Peyton Wilson gets a lot of the billing because of the numbers he put up last year. We talked about Isaiah Moore, the communicator. I'm not sure there's a more important player for the energy of this defense than number 32, Drake Thomas.
Eye black hair. On second down, the screen. Here's Rooster. And a first down for Miami. Knighton showed what he could do last week in the receiving game. Had a 60-yard touchdown catch against North Carolina.
The perfect call for that play right there. NC State bunched its D-line in the middle, getting ready to load up on the run. Slipped Knighton off the side for a first down.
Van Dyke down the seam. He's got Restrepo, who leaps and can't hold on. Very nearly a Sports Center top 10 reception.
And you see Xavier Restrepo distraught. Watch him get Tanner Ingle on the double move, reaches out at the end of this play and can't quite make it to the ground. A great job by Shaheem Battle staying with the end of that play. Gets just enough as Restrepo's trying to come down with it.
Restrepo almost had it. Miami with that touchdown on its opening drive. Leads 7-3 after 1. Second and 10 Miami, start of the second quarter. The Hurricanes have been slow starters in their 2 ACC games. Scored on their opening drive, and they have not been gun shy offensively. We've seen them go vertical often.
They came in wanting to let it rip, delivered so far.
Van Dyke. There's Rambo, and he holds on for a gain of 4. It sets up 3rd and 6.
We talked about the last couple of games here. Slow start tonight on the other side for Devin Leary. Just 1 of 5 on 3rd down for the NC State offense that struggled to get momentum going early. And after that first drive for Miami, 75 yards, only 15 since coming into this drive.
Here's the blitz. Van Dyke has an open receiver. Keyshawn Smith tries to cut it back. He's going to be about a yard shy. 4th and 1. Minus territory near midfield. Do you trust the offense?
Don't think twice. Double down and keep going right here. We've seen Tyler Van Dyke pretty comfortable going empty a lot in the North Carolina State game here, but they're bringing a couple of tight ends in here. Scratch that. Just Will Mallory coming in.
Elijah Arroyo checked in, then went out. They do have Larry Hodges, a tight end in there, so 2 tight ends. Knighton, the running back. Van Dyke will throw. Looking for Knighton out of the backfield. He's got it, and he's gone.
The receiving chops were on display last week for Knighton. And in a 4th and 1, excuse me, You bring a couple of tight end bodies in formation-wise. The whole defense thinking run with Knighton in the backfield. But you watch, matched up with the Jakeem Harris, the safety. You're going to watch his eyes so dialed into the backfield that he doesn't see Knighton leak out. And by the time he turns, Knighton's way too explosive an athlete to be late on the wheel going down the sideline.
Offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley told us he's starting to feel out what his quarterback can and can't do. But he did tell us Miami's going to let it rip tonight. And Rooster takes it to the house. Jalen Knighton is now the lead back for Miami. Cameron Harris suffered a season-ending injury last week, and Knighton so far today, 2 catches, 65 yards, including a 53-yard touchdown catch to give Miami a 14-3 lead. He brings an explosiveness to that running back room.
He's got a different gear than Cam Harris. Cam Harris, a great leader for that room, diligent in the way he approaches, an all-around back in protection involved in there. He's passed a lot of that on to Knighton.
Miami down 2 of its top 3 backs. Don Chaney also out for the season as we check in with Kevin.
All right, Anish, your AT&T 5G studio update. Ohio State hasn't lost a Big Ten game since 2018. Mac, Travion Henderson, the touchdown run.
Yeah, just a big-time job by the left guard and left tackle. Opening the hole. Get in the end zone, big man.
14-7 on ABC.
My guy Emac giving the O-line some love in that highlight. An enlightened man there with Kevin Connors.
Now look at you. You and your fellow offensive lineman.
Beef in the studio. It's what's for dinner, baby.
Turning into a cult.
A very sweaty one. so sweaty. God, is it hot in here.
Zonovan Knight in the backfield. And Leary hands it off to Knight. Running to that left side. This Miami defense flying around. That's Wayman Steed. Tied for 3rd on the team in tackles. 5th year. Some of these older guys like Steed. Now listen, there's some talented youth knocking on the door for playing time. They've got to earn their keep now.
Manny Diaz said it's been an uncomfortable conversation for guys getting used to different roles, different reps on the team. That adjustment period starting to work itself out on the field. Guys taking ownership of the reps they do have.
Leary to the air. Downfield, and that's caught by Emeka Emezi, who last week became NC State's career leader in receptions.
Massive for this offense that's going to show a little pace now to try and get something going downfield here. James Williams too late coming over at safety.
39 straight games with a catch for Emezi, 2 shy of the school record. Leary shovels it tonight. He's got running room. And Zonovan Bam Knight picks up a dozen. Another first down for NC State. Tackled by Marcus Clark. 28 in black. Clark also part of that youth movement on defense.
We're seeing new bodies get out there. If they want to keep coming up and being aggressive at the line, there's going to be a screen here for NC State. Similar to what we saw with Knighton on that Miami sideline here. You're going to be able to pop one. You saw that space in the middle of the field that last rep.
Knight up the middle. And a nice run, a gain of 8. Amari Carter the stop. Zonovan Knight came into the game with a career rushing average of 5.6 yards per carry, highest in school history.
This backfield almost evenly split with touches down the middle. Gives these guys fresh legs late into the game. That's been one of the secrets to the NC State success.
A lot of options here on 2nd down and short. It's Knight again, stumbles, keeps his balance, and Bam Knight picks up a first down inside the 25 of Miami.
You're seeing a little fight from the NC State offense now here. Running tough, and these backs have to make great plays in the backfield because you still see bodies coming upfield. And so that ability to cut as you're getting the ball, as you're getting into the rep. Huge for this backfield. We talked about the crowd before, Anish. A little quieter in here now. They're going on a lot of double cadence. You normally don't get that in a road environment.
Thayer Thomas on the screen. And that was a challenge. Let's see if Miami could tackle in space. And he got away from Amari Carter to get a few extra yards.
They go on a double cadence there. They're able to slip it as we've got a player down now.
Yeah, it's Carter. Amari Carter is down. Will step aside.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff semifinals. Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
Manny Diaz serves as Miami's head coach and defensive coordinator. That defensive unit has been much maligned, worst tackling team in the country, but they've been the story so far in this game. Much improved tonight.
You take over play calling in a season where you've struggled on that side of the ball, the pressure is going to be on. The way this group has responded today speaks volumes about this team and how they feel about their coach.
Bradley Jennings has come in for Amari Carter, who got hurt before we went to break. 2nd and 2, NC State. Leary, quick release. It's Thayer Thomas, slips the tackle. And just as we sing Miami's praises, a missed tackle. But there is a flag down, far side of the field.
Offside, defense number 99. Penalties declined. Result of the play is accepted. First down.
Elijah Roberts, the second-year freshman.
Emeka Emezi, if he's getting one-on-one coverage at the bottom of the formation here, you got to look his way. That was the successful pass attempt that drew you down the field on this drive. Looks like he's got it here.
Leary looking to the sideline again. Parham's the tight end, lined up on the left of that line. Leary, there's the fade for Emezi. It's broken up by Marcus Clark. He was listed as a co-starter this week at cornerback on the depth chart.
Just a great job going up and making a contested play with a veteran wide receiver, the all-time leading receiver in NC State history. Devin Leary liked the matchup there. Freshman made him unlike it.
Emezi lining up now in the slot. 2 tight ends.
Try and get him a slot fade here, look, maybe. Give him a lot of space to run to the corner pylon.
Instead, it's Bam Knight. Drags a defender inside the 10. It brings up 3rd down.
Third and goal here. I think you've got to try, as we see. Bam Knight heading out to the perimeter here. Spread it out. Motion somebody. Let your quarterback know if he's got man or zone here. And then again, I'm looking at Emezi. I want to go to my best set of hands if I've got man across the board like it appears here.
Leary 12 out of 17. Edge pressure. Leary rolling to his right. End zone. Brought in by Thayer Thomas for the touchdown.
An outstanding job of navigating the pre-snap responsibilities for Devin Leary. One thing they mentioned to us, Anish, after the Mississippi State game was that sometimes his eyes got bought up by the wrong things here. Now, give him more snap count, give him more information with all that play clock, and let him go out here and execute, getting Thayer Thomas the ball.
They've added one item to the menu for Devin Leary every week this season, as Dunn's PAT is good. the newly minted all-time points leader at NC State.
So you see you got man across the board on the outside, so you're going to get slants from the outside, 2 receivers, and then Thayer Thomas, number 5 in the slot, just going to run to that corner, and he's got all that space matched up man-to-man. You get a great stutter step by him at the top, and then working through contact. Just a great job, too, by Devin Leary, giving your guy a chance. You got a guy there defending him. Let him go up and get it. Thayer Thomas been a reliable set of hands for you on the outside.
Number 41, Miami, is reporting in.
Fifth-year guy. He had his best game of the season last week. 4 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown against BC. An outfielder on the NC State baseball team. A draft pick of the recently eliminated Boston Red Sox out of high school.
Had to slip that dig in there, didn't you, Yankees fan?
I won't lie, it felt kind of nice to say.
A lot of pent-up aggression there. It's okay, big guy. Let it out. We're here for you.
Gill will send it away. Miami ball at the 25-yard line. Last November, Miami on the road against NC State, down 2 scores heading into the 4th quarter. De'Aaron King threw for more than 400 yards, ran for more than 100, accounted for 5 total touchdowns. Saw Bam Knight with a kick return touchdown. This was your game winner. Mike Harley, 8 catches, 153. That gave Miami the lead. DJ Ivey, the interception late to seal it. And Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. Now, earlier this week on Tuesday, we played the clip for you at the top of the broadcast. Said, hey, we scored 44 on these guys last year. NC State's response when we spoke to them, he didn't play in that game, as Harley is upended by Tyler Baker-Williams.
I tell you what, though, watching De'Aaron King highlights, I'd feel confident, too, with that guy on my team. And this coaching staff talked about that. Having De'Aaron King in that quarterback room has meant a lot to Jake Garcia, to Tyler Van Dyke, to the development of these young players. And so it's not surprising to see them drawing confidence from his performance in the past.
Cody Brown into the game, running back. Van Dyke buying time and throws it away. Taylor?
Speaking of De'Aaron King, just instilling confidence in Van Dyke. When I spoke with Tyler earlier this week, he said after every single series, I'll check in with De'Aaron, see what he sees out on the field. He says he's really good at reading run concepts, and so he always addresses those with me. But he says the most important thing is he just tells me, go out there and be you. That is enough.
Now, the coaches were saying De'Aaron King was a guy the team fed off of. He oozed confidence. So while Van Dyke's comments may have been bulletin board material for NC State, the coaches said they weren't that upset because it was nice to see the quarterback have that kind of confidence in himself and the guys around him. And a penalty.
Ball start, offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And Anish, this is the exact scenario that NC State's defense has thrived on all year. An ACC leading 8 interceptions, 6 have come on 3rd down and 8 or more, as we've got Miami backed up here again right now. And that's the charge for Tyler Van Dyke. Avoiding the big mistake is they're going to try and bait you, play with his eyes, and see if they can steal a possession here.
Wolfpack drop 8. And there's that NC State defense that came in holding opponents to just 25% on 3rd down. And yeah, we know words were said earlier in the weekend. Now we get flags at the end of the play.
Anytime you got the quarterback involved in the middle of a pile, it starts to look like a hockey goalie.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 53, his first of the game. Half the distance to the goal penalty, the down counts, 4th down.
That's Ja'Kai Clark, the center.
And you see him coming here at the end. And
kind of a get off my quarterback, right?
Yeah, and a bit of a sell there by NC State here. Again, this is the former O lineman in me leaking out, but I kind of love the tone this sets here. That second one is probably where you get it. And you've got to be smarter than that. Ja'Kai Clark's played some ball around here already. He steps in for Gaynor, who is a huge veteran presence in the middle of that line. That second one, that's the one you got to watch out for.
So Headley to punt from his own end zone, and Thayer Thomas waits at midfield. Fair catch called for right at the NC State 49, a 38-yard punt.
Capital One fan vote. Georgia Tech led 13-zip, but Mac Brennan Armstrong has thrown 3 TDs in 11 minutes.
Just a great side adjustment here by the quarterback and receiver. Takes it to the house.
Dontavion Wicks, 77 yards. Anish, it's 21-16 Cavaliers.
So Coastal chaos as usual.
A tradition unlike any other. God, it's beautiful.
Great starting field position here for NC State, just inside midfield. The toss to Person, cuts it back, and drives across midfield. Prior to that play, NC State only had 7 rushing yards to this point, and look at their rush numbers in their 3 games against Power 5. You expect the overall offensive numbers to be down, but they really haven't been able to run the ball in their games against Power 5 competition.
Sometimes they've been a little bit too left-handed, going constantly to Ike Ekwonu in the left side of that offensive line. They've got to mix it up more. That time, mixing in a toss run, getting some pullers out there. I think that's going to be much more of a key and more successful against a 4-down penetrating defense like Miami.
Larry buying time, directing traffic, throwing to the sideline, incomplete. And it's 3rd down. Person, the running back of the target.
We saw last time, 3rd and long, NC State go crossing routes, try and pick some bodies in the middle of the field, especially if Miami wants to get aggressive again. I think you got to give your quarterback more crossing routes here. Try and see if you can get that natural pick in the middle of the field.
On 3rd down, and it's dropped by Rooks. So NC State squandering prime starting field position.
The best starting field position they've had all night there. You try and use the stack formation to get your wide out a little space coming off the line of scrimmage. And now you got a chance to pin him back. I know your defense has been playing great, but that's the 4th 3 and out for NC State on offense. That lack of execution, especially now that they've been winning on 1st down more, starting, after all those splash plays, guys getting caught behind the line of scrimmage. Disappointing execution on 2nd downs.
Gill's punt is fair caught inside the 10 by George. Miami ball, 6:53 to go, first half.
One fan vote, 23 unanswered now for Ohio State. Mac after C.J. Stroud finds Chris Olave.
Man, just a great throw, a better catch, getting both feet in. That's good on Sundays.
Number 5, a 30-7 lead, Anish on the road on ABC.
All right, Ohio State starting to pull away. Miami will begin at its own 6-yard line. Van Dyke's throw, he's got Rambo. And he brings it out to about the 12-yard line, a gain of 6. Brett Lashley, Miami's offensive coordinator, told us they're going to have to throw to establish the run. Neither team has really been able to run the football, but Miami's MO, 17 pass attempts, only 8 rushing attempts.
And we saw a lot of the pass attempts early in this game were off the run-pass option, so they were pass plays with the run plays with the pass read off of it. And as we see them now go on the ground here, you've seen them reverse engineer it. They ran that same play, Anish, for the touchdown, the first touchdown drive Miami had. They ran counter up front and threw the fade ball to Rambo. Now you lighten up the box a little bit. Now NC State's got to worry about these receivers on the outside.
A first down run for Knighton. Van Dyke takes a hit downfield for Restrepo toward the Miami bench. Pressure coming from Drake Thomas. We've called 32 in White's name a lot tonight.
The minute he triggers, it's go time here. And the veteran present smart enough to pull off at the end, not give him an easy penalty. Just as much of this NC State defense has been about intelligence and avoiding the big-time mistakes that can create drives. That's one of the things, Anish, we talked to this staff who'd been so great on third down, said, what do you need to see more of? We don't want to extend drives with penalties anymore and bail out the O.
And blitz coming off to the perimeter, Rambo. And he is wrapped up across the 20, a gain of 5. Third down again against this #1 third down defense of the Wolfpack. NC State came in tops in the ACC in total defense, in run defense, #2 in scoring defense, #3 in pass defense. It's been an elite unit this season.
You run out of accolades for these guys here. And so what's your strength if you're Miami? Athleticism. You got to challenge them athletically right now. You've got Xavier Restrepo on the inside, matched up with Jakeem Harris, a safety again. We've seen them go to the double move a couple of times here, and they're trying to clear out some space for Restrepo now for that same thing.
And a flag, multiple flags.
Snap infraction, offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Fourth penalty on Miami. 3 have been false starts.
The pre-snap penalties are a killer for Miami, and especially, we talked about 3rd and 8+ where this NC State defense thrives, because you saw them change the picture on that last one. You thought you were getting man, they roll back out of it now. They're going to create an opportunity here for one of these linebackers. Look at maybe number 31, Vi Jones, twist him around in the middle of this defense.
NC State drops 8. Van Dyke has Knighton. And Rooster with a first down. 3 catches, 77 yards in the first half for Jalen Knighton. And down for NC State, Joshua Pierre-Louis. Second-year freshman, a Florida kid.
We talked about the athletic mismatch for Knighton, and then Pierre-Louis gets swung around a bit there. Always dangerous when bodies are flying and you've got his legs up in the air like that.
Injuries have been part of the equation for both of these teams defensively. NC State has lost Peyton Wilson. We saw Isaiah Moore get banged up tonight. Cyrus Fagan out for the season. CJ Clark out for the year. Miami down 2 starting offensive linemen, 2 of their top 3 running backs, and of course their quarterback De'Ara King, as we check in with Kevin.
All right, Anish, coming up on the DirecTV Stream halftime report, why 8 overtimes were not enough for Illinois and Penn State today. Plus, we'll check in on Alabama after falling behind by 7 to Tennessee. And how do we feel about Cincinnati after today's nail biter? Find out when you join me and Eric McLean at the half. Anish.
Another tackle made by Drake Thomas. I'll tell you how I feel about Cincinnati. Do we hold Oklahoma to the same standard? Yes, it was an ugly win by Cincinnati against Navy. Oklahoma has had an ugly win against Tulane, today against Kansas. They've had some nail biters. Do we give the Group of 5 team the same benefit of the doubt?
We especially stood against a Service Academy team. It's such a unique threat in the middle of your season to go up against that triple option offense and come out on the other side.
Van Dyke fires a slant to Keyshawn Smith, who hangs on at the 36. It'll bring up 3rd down. We come up on 4 minutes to play in this first half.
And if I'm Miami right now, you had success going to Jalen Knighton in the passing game before. Devon Betty, number 26, just came in from Isaiah Moore at middle linebacker here. That's a matchup you've got to try and pick on.
The previous play is under further review for targeting.
The previous play under review for targeting.
You can call for targeting from the booth. It would impact Drake Thomas.
It's always difficult, Anish. These linebackers coming from inside with a receiver underneath here.
So first, is Keyshawn Smith a defenseless player? Yes, he's a receiver in the act of making a catch. So now you're looking for forcible contact to the head or neck area. Forcible enough for you? That's the gray area. And remember, You have to confirm all aspects of targeting. If there is any gray area, there is no targeting.
I don't think this is forcible. Usually you're looking for an indicator, a launch, a thrust, tilting the head down, the crown of the helmet type area here. What we're seeing is a guy whose momentum carried his chest into the head of the wide receiver.
One of the indicators the officials look at is if the defender lowers his head. You didn't see Drake Thomas do that.
No, he ended up hitting him with what looked like his chest plate there, almost like he was trying to pull up momentum-wise. Drake Thomas, we talked about, smart player. You saw him hold up on the quarterback before. Momentum taking it out there. You see him trying to almost pull up at the end. I don't think that's forcible enough to qualify.
I agree.
After further review, there is no targeting on the field.
Yeah, and that's the right call. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Miami. The Canes today, 3 of 7 on 3rd downs. We saw on a 4th and 1, you mentioned earlier, Knighton leaking out of the backfield on a 53-yard touchdown catch.
And we've still got Devon Betty in the middle of that defense right now. No Isaiah Moore there. That's got to be an area you look to pick on a young player.
Devin Boykin, the safety, plays back near midfield. Van Dyke moving the pocket. Pressure coming, and he throws it away. 4th down. Another 3rd down stop by NC State. Taylor.
Isaiah Moore not in the game right now. He came out after that last series, is clearly in pain. He's currently in the tent. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, so how big is that, not losing Drake Thomas as well?
Massive swing for this team at this point in the game, because you saw there the strength of this defense right now has been creating one picture before the snap. Miami trying to use a double count, hand clap, something to get the defense to show their hand. NC State has held their water thus far.
Headley's punt takes a bounce and rolls inside the 15 and down at the 11-yard line. That's why he is one of the front runners for the Ray Guy Award. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, making the plays that move you forward. Goodyear, more driven. Beautiful Saturday night in South Florida. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Anish Shroff, Mike Golick Jr., Taylor McGregor. NC State 18th in the country, looking to go to 3-0 in the ACC. Pitt and Wake Forest look like contenders as well this year. Clemson suffered its 2nd league loss today. Miami looking for its first ACC win after heartbreak the last 2 weeks.
It's been as wide open as the conference has felt in years now that the giant in Clemson seems to have fallen.
Ricky Person finds an opening and a 1st down and more into the secondary. Still powering ahead, legs churning, and they'll finally blow the play dead at the 34-yard line, a gain of 23.
Just an outstanding jump cut here. There's nothing open originally for Person right here, but he watches the block of Dylan Parham and then jumps off that and finds a seam in this Miami defense. And then the leg drive at the end of this one, finally setting the physical tone they want.
Back to Person, showing off the patience. Snakes around the edge. And thrown out of bounds by James Williams, the freshman. So Person has given this run game a little jump start late in the 2nd quarter.
And this is a great time frame right now for NC State. About 2:45 left, 2 timeouts. So you're not quite in 2-minute mode. You've got all these runs in your playbook here, and Miami might get caught between worlds. Do you try and play back too much, prevent a little bit too much, give this O-line a chance to lean on them for a few more minutes here?
Person stays in. Miami was showing blitz. Bubba Bolden, the safety, charging toward the line of scrimmage. Now he backs off. A 4-man rush against Leary. Harvey with the hit, and Leary has to throw it away. Miami wants grounding. That's what they're talking about. There was no receiver in the area, so you have to be outside of the pocket, and the ball has to cross the line of scrimmage.
And it looked like he was right on the edge of that pocket there. The question was going to be, did it manage to cross the line of scrimmage? So
is he outside the tackles? He actually is.
Outside the tackles there, that ball gets beyond the line of scrimmage. It's right on the edge of it.
And that's actually a good call. The line shifted to the left. 3rd down and short. Leary downfield. And it's Trent Penix. The catch is good. It's enough for a first down. 2:02 to go, first half. NC State has never led tonight.
Penix. Oh, and you're going to look and see that left foot right on the white line.
That's going to be overturned. And they're going to look at this.
An incomplete pass. 4th down.
Now the ruling was an incomplete pass. So you saw the one official say catch. They changed the ruling on the field. That's the right call. It's 4th down. And NC State looking to the sideline right now. Offense still out there. And now
they're getting big bodies onto the field. That looks like 3 tight ends they're getting out. They want to give this offensive line a chance to go and win this right now. And I love the vote of confidence for Dave Doeren right now. If you're trying to send a message to the conference, do it right here.
Let's see if it's a ploy to get Miami to jump or if they call a play. And it was a ploy to get the Hurricanes to jump off sides. NC State calls a timeout with the play clock winding down. 2:02 to go in this first half. Minus territory first half. You still would have gone for it?
I thought you had space in the middle of that line for maybe a sneak up there. You got so many looks at the defense.
We have Top Rank Boxing tonight from Atlanta, main event. Jamel Herring is squaring off against undefeated Shakur Stevenson, plus Muhammad Ali's grandson Nico returning to the ring.
And I understand I'm playing with someone else's money in that instance, Anish. That's a long 2 in this instance as we see the punt team come out now. But I just thought you'd finally got something rolling here with your offense. A chance to really drive the hammer home to end the half.
Instead, Miami will get it back unless this is a fake. Gill sends it away. And it takes a Miami bounce down at about the 20-yard line. Only a 36-yard punt. Hurricanes have time here. They have a quarterback who can throw the ball deep downfield. 3 timeouts in the back pocket.
Ideal situation here. Everything available to you. And we've seen them really working overtime to try and get Xavier Restrepo going in the middle of this field here. But Charleston Rambo's had plenty of free yards on the outside here. You got to spread this thing around here, as NC State we know is going to be backed off trying to keep everything in front of them.
The last 2 games against Virginia and UNC, Van Dyke in the first half, 9 of 26. What's been the difference tonight?
Getting the ball out of his hands quick and then confidence in his deep ball.
Screen pass to Knighton. He's been dangerous in the pass game. And tripped up at the 25, a gain of 4. Taylor.
No Isaiah Moore. He is officially done, says athletic trainer Justin Smith. He went into the tent. They took off that left brace. And just moments ago, he went around to his teammates, was wishing all of them good luck, and then he headed into the locker room. He is not even out here on the sideline, guys.
Captain of the defense, captain of the team. Wears that #1 jersey, which goes to the player who embodies all things Wolfpack football. And now one of the cornerbacks, Shaheen Battle, is down. They had depth on defense entering the season. Boys are getting tested. Peyton Wilson, Isaiah Moore tonight. We saw Pierre Lewis go down. C.J. Clark, Cyrus Fagan out for the season as well.
And especially along that back end, Anish. The defensive backs in a team that's usually going to be out there in nickel, 5 defensive backs. It's a lot like an offensive line. It requires so much communication, passing things off, making sure everybody's on the same page, seeing things through one set of eyes. And when you mix in a few new voices here, younger guys, you got to think and overemphasize a second longer on every bit of that communication. And for an offense as athletically gifted as Miami, that's a dangerous mixture.
Aiden White, #3 for NC State. On the first drive when Miami scored, they picked on him mercilessly.
And we see him matched up one-on-one again with Charleston Rambo, the Oklahoma transfer on the outside. Going to have to feed that beast early and often.
That's the matchup at the bottom of your screen. Instead, it's Knighton. Up to the 30-yard line. 30 3rd and 1 now for Miami.
And you got to start to see some urgency now. I understand you've still got the 3 timeouts, a minute and a half left here, but no reason. As we see, now they're substituting. Now the
bringing
defense
in some big bodies. Number 70, Justice Oluwashone, comes into the game. They brought in Cody Brown, the bigger back, more of the bruiser. They'll line up in the eye. Out of the goal line set, it's Brown. And he's stopped. And let's see if NC State uses a timeout here. They do. 54 seconds to go, first half, and Miami will punt.
NC State, their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
And Anisha, you're scrambling
timeout
for personnel right here. And great penetration in the backfield on that backside. Looked like number 99, Daniel Joseph, able to squirt through there and just get the running back to move east and west. I don't know why Miami didn't use one of those 3 timeouts. If you want to get everything settled, you know how important that 3rd and 1 is. I get wanting to save it for the other side, but critical down and distance, if you're going to change personnel, that seems like an opportunity to slow things down.
NC State now out of timeouts. Well, the offense is coming back out on the field. Well, it's Headley. Headley's going to be in there. They do have the punt team on. They did have some offensive personnel in there, maybe getting NC State to think something could be up. Headley punts it away. Thomas makes the fair catch inside his own 25-yard line. This season, along with their contributions to the university's general scholarship fund, for every field goal and extra point made, All-State will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, All-State. Okay, so how does NC State now play this final 47 seconds? Miami will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, no timeouts.
I think you've still got time to attack the sidelines here. We've seen the bubble screens getting guys running towards out of bounds, trying to throw something back shoulder maybe to a Mezzi. You've got 47 seconds. Try and see if you can spring a big play.
Leary to the air. Mezzi's wide open and can't get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to run. Tackled immediately by Isaiah Dunson. Maybe that's part of the challenge. See if Miami can make tackles in space.
And coming off that stoppage there, you've got 2 plays in the holster right now for NC State as they get up to the line.
Leary downfield, and Mezzi's open, makes the catch inside the 30-yard line. Beat Kinchins, the safety.
Now you got to get up and spike it. The clock is going to stop while the chains reset. Go ahead and kill this play and get set up as you're near the red zone.
They have a terrific kicker in Dunn. And a timeout by Miami.
Timeout, Miami, the first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Help me understand why Miami calls a timeout.
I was going to ask you the same thing here, Anish, unless you're so concerned about your personnel on the field here, but now you've gifted NC State a free one coming off of that.
So they hit the big play downfield to Emeka Emezi, all-time leader in receptions at NC State. We think NC State's going to get up with no timeouts. As soon as that clock starts, they spike the ball. Instead, Miami calls a timeout.
Baffling to me at this point, Anish. And I know you're worried about personnel after the long pass play, but you've got to know on the other side, all right, NC State's got no timeouts left. They're going to need to get up and burn one here. I just felt like you give them a free one here. Miami apparently had 10 players on the field at the time. Maybe you're worried about them faking the spike here, but still surprised by the move.
20 seconds to go. Leary has a wide open Thayer Thomas. Touchdown, NC State. second touchdown of the first half for Thayer Thomas.
Watch number 8, Ricky Person, on the blitz pickup here. You get a second-level pressure. We talk about James Williams, the big safety. Thuds him up there on that one. And Devin Leary stands and delivers. What an answer.
The PAT by Dunn is good. 2 straight plays. The Miami defense with a breakdown. On the long catch by Emezi, the defensive back lost his man. Williams comes up to blitz. They find Thomas open over the middle.
And you had the timeout to go to the sideline and diagram the perfect play. Just a great job by everyone involved here, understanding, all right, we got a pressure there. James Williams, the safety, coming down. You've got space in the middle of the field vacated.
And you also gave NC State the chance to go to the sideline to reset, catch their breath, dial up a couple of plays in that instance if they needed one more, since the Wolfpack didn't have any timeouts. So just a bizarre sequence there by Miami, calling the timeout, essentially giving NC State what they would have wanted in that spot.
And if there were truly 10 players on the field for Miami at that point, then that's another execution error by a defense that has struggled with that in the realm of tackling. We've seen for Miami offensively some penalties tonight. Those are the things that can undermine that fast start you got out to.
You're facing a veteran team in NC State that has done a good job this season of not beating itself. And the Wolfpack have their first lead of the game here with 15 seconds to go in the first half.
Yet another test for Miami mentally as a team. They've been used to being down at the half and having to claw their way back in niche, but they were the aggressor to start the night. You credit NC State, who now has lost the leader in the middle of their defense again in Isaiah Moore, for being able to bow up in the middle here. Miami's got a different challenge, and this young group, seeing a lot of these situations for the first time, is going to have to go in the locker room and talk this through.
Miami gets the ball to begin the second half. And you hear it from the crowd. A lot of positives for Manny Diaz in that first half. The way that half ended, it's got the crowd a little antsy. To the studio now, and Kevin Connors.
Welcome to the DirecTV Stream halftime
into the second half. You have been a second half team all season long. This is a chance for you to come out and remind people you don't blink.
Meanwhile, this veteran NC State team looking to go to 3-0 in the ACC. Their bench juiced for the start of the third quarter. Miami will receive. And we check in with Taylor.
I talked to Manny Diaz. First question I asked him is why he called that timeout right before halftime. He said to get the correct defensive personnel on the field. He said defensively, we've got to clean up our coverages. He feels like they're coming out of their deep areas. They really need to clean that up defensively, although he feels like they got off to a good start, but not able to finish in the second.
That critical on that timeout. Because again, NC State had just hit a big play. They've got no timeouts left. They're getting up there to clock it. And now because you want to substitute the right personnel in there, that to me bought NC State too much time on the other side. A critical error going into the half.
No doubt. Harley comes in motion. Tyler Van Dyke played well in the first half. Going deep downfield. He's got Rambo, who makes the catch and pulled down inside the 20. Tyler Baker-Williams probably saved a touchdown. And Tyler Van Dyke, unlike the last 2 weeks, put up solid numbers in that first half. He starts the second half by showing off his arm.
Big play action fake, great protection by the offensive line. And now a challenge for them in the red zone, an area this Miami offense has struggled against an NC State unit that is 4th in the ACC inside the red area.
No gain for Knighton, and this is Miami's first trip inside the Wolfpack 20. 60 yards on that catch by Rambo, who's got 6 catches for 105 yards. And they like that matchup, Rambo against 3 and white, 8 and white. Bottom of your screen. Instead of check down, Rooster takes it inside the 10.
This is an area we saw. What do they have on that first play? Deep developing pass. Tyler Van Dyke has to hold on to it for a long time. The ball's got to come out quick now. You have athletes on your side that are better than what NC State's got on defense. Give them a chance to make a guy miss.
NC State also without its top linebacker, Isaiah Moore, out for the game, injured in the first half. Van Dyke had a Rambo open momentarily. He missed him. Back to the near sideline and incomplete. He wanted Harley. Rambo was open over the middle on the slant.
That's the challenge for a young quarterback in this area of the field, though. When all the windows shrink, that cut-it-loose mentality we're talking about. Tyler Van Dyke, comfortable doing that going deep. We knew coming into this. Now asking him to do that in real time, quickly, to a veteran receiver there. That's where you see some of the youth showing up still.
Borregales will come on for a 27-yarder for the tie. Inside 38 yards. He's just 2 for 5 this year. And NC State may have jumped. Corey Durden, that might be encroachment. Question is, was he drawn off? It's 4th and 5, so depending on where this spot takes place, if it's on NC State.
Offside, defensive contact, number 48. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it's a first down. And those were the penalties Dave Doran talked to us about, the penalties that extend a drive, and this one could result in a 4-point swing.
No excuse on that one. You saw some of the Miami offensive linemen getting down set late, but it wasn't done with speed or the intention to draw someone offside. That is just a lack of execution on defense. And you're right, that is the exact coaching point they brought up to us in the meeting. And now you give Miami a chance here. The Rooster, Jalen Knighton, we saw a big touchdown late in the low red zone, able to make plenty of guys miss inside the box with all that speed.
Now this could be an opportunity too. They could bring in Cody Brown. Van Dyke moving the pocket. He's got his tight end, Mallory. Touchdown, Miami. So after an inauspicious end to the first half, the Canes score on their first possession of the second half. The big play to Rambo downfield, the offside penalty on 4th down against NC State.
And
then Mallory punches it in.
Rambo showed up here big again, kind of providing a pseudo screen out in front of Will Mallory. That's the mental toughness we talked about coming out of this halftime locker room when you've got reps in the last 2 games.
(21-17) after the PAT. 242 yards passing, 3 touchdowns for Tyler Van Dyke. 4th career start, 3rd ACC game.
And look at Rambo just running by a flat-footed defender on that deep pass there. Tyler Baker-Williams didn't turn in time to save him. And then let's take a look at the touchdown from the blimp here. Watch 11, Rambo getting out here in front and not doing enough to interfere, but clearing out 3 or 4 extra yards. Now all of a sudden, Will Mallory's got space to lunge and get over the goal line.
This is just the second time this season in which the NC State defense has given up more than 17 points in regulation. They gave up 27 to Louisiana Tech. The Clemson game, remember, went into overtime.
And when it's the exact thing you've been coaching up all week, that's going to eat at Dave Doran and this coaching staff on the sideline. We know your defense, shorthanded, missing key bodies at every level. Isaiah Moore still out right now. It's on everyone to be more disciplined across the board once your leader is out of the game.
Bam Knight took a kick back 100 yards for a touchdown against Miami last year. He waits in his end zone. Borregales to kick it away. NC State brings it out to the 25 for its first possession of this second half. Devin Leary, 214 yards, 16 out of 25, 2 TDs, both to Thayer Thomas.
And a lot of that yardage coming on that last drive there, able to go the distance in a short amount of time. And so what do you learn from that? You've got to challenge Miami downfield more. Their defense was allowed to play so aggressive and downhill. You've got to give them those opportunities, but this all started getting the ball to Thayer Thomas in the slot on these bubble screens, using that as an extension of a run game that had a tough time getting going in the first half.
Only 40 yards on the ground. Thomas motions. Bam Knight. Driven back after a gain of 2, and a flag flies in. Gonna get a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Jafari Harvey had a pick 6 last week.
Tough for him. Harvey's been super active all night, and you're reaching in these scrums just trying to get a hold of a guy here. Hard to really fault him for that one.
What's been your impression so far of the Miami defense?
They came out on fire, and we heard Dave Doran reference it talking to Taylor McGregor at halftime here. You've got the 0-1 team in the house. You've got all these guys that you grew up watching and looking at here. So they came out with their hair on fire. You got to recapture that and manufacture it yourself here.
Well, they've got the Miami Knights jerseys on too. Leary, incomplete, threw it behind his intended target, Emezi.
That was what Miami did so well in the first half. D-line just deposited the right guard into the quarterback's lap. These guys knifing upfield. When you think of all these great Miami defenses, it's not two-gappers. It's not guys trying to hold their blocks. It's players taking chances, getting upfield, and making big-time splash plays. That's the Miami identity.
Leary floats it downfield, and too far for Devin Carter. Third down.
So now you're not going to have the benefit of that play fake here. We saw at the end of the half, Miami got aggressive and blitzed on defense. Bam Knight's going to have to bow up here in protection because I'm sure we're going to get 5 or 6 bodies. Devin Leary's got that matchup that was so helpful to him at the beginning. Emeka Emezi lined up against Marcus Clark, number 28, at the bottom of the formation.
Four-man pressure. Incomplete. He wanted Thayer Thomas. And Miami's defense comes up with a stop. It's 4th down. Manny Diaz telling us, despite the 2-4 record, he's proud that his team has shown resiliency. Go back to the end of the Virginia game. They were down double digits in the second half. Had a chance to win, missed a field goal as time expired against North Carolina. Comfortably in field goal range late. A tip ball gets intercepted. UNC wins the game. Gill's punt, fielded by George. He muffs it. Able to pick it up. Lost it again. An NC State player without a helmet seemed to jump on it.
Now this is going to be interesting, Anish, because once your helmet comes off, you're not allowed to make a play on the ball.
91, Joe Shimko, the long snapper. He had his helmet off. Anthony Smith did as well. Now it's Anthony Smith, 85, whose helmet comes off, and it looks like it's Smith who continues to play without the helmet.
I always thought that's such a tough rule because your instinct is still to go out there and go to work.
The ruling on the field, there was a return and a fumble recovered by the kicking team. Also, there are 2 holds against the receiving team, number 9 and number 18. Those penalties are declined. The result of the play, 1st and goal, NC State.
I stand corrected.
The previous play is under further
They're going
review.
to look at this. A lot to sort out. You had a player, again, whose helmet came off. You're supposed to call the play dead when someone plays without their helmet.
After further review, there are fouls by both teams on the play. During the kick, holding receiving team number 9 and number 18. During the return, personal foul, participating without a helmet, number 85 kicking team. Those fouls will offset. We'll replay 4th down.
That's a huge break for Miami. It's also the right call. We said it before we went to break. You cannot play when your helmet comes off. And in that situation, Anthony Smith's helmet comes off. He continues to play. Nobody has possession when he makes an attempt for the ball. You're supposed to blow the whistle, and the play is dead right there on the spot. There was some confusion as to why it was initially ruled NC State ball, and there was no check on Smith in the helmet.
You had multiple penalties there. You had a change of possession, so a lot for the officials, but give them credit. They call down for that one, and they get the call right ultimately in this instance. As tough as I think that rule is for a player, because you're fighting every instinct.
I agree.
There's nothing that he did wrong in that spot, because I can't expect a player in that moment to say, oh, well, my helmet's off now. I got to know the rules when you're fighting tooth and nail like that.
Conference game on the road, so Gill has to punt. And George this time makes a fair catch. Our college football lineup for next Saturday over on the ACC Network at noon. This will be a good one. Kenny Pickett and Pittsburgh coming off a win against Clemson. That's the team to beat now in the Coastal. They'll be home for Miami. Duke and Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons, the lone unbeaten in the ACC. Now 5-0 in league play. Louisville will travel to NC State. Malik Cunningham has played like one of the best quarterbacks in the conference this year.
And there's been a bunch of great ones to choose from. We saw it there. You mentioned Kenny Pickett. What we've seen from Wake Forest, Sam Hartman in that bunch here, the sheer amount of great plays put up today in a crucial win against Army.
70-56.
Whew. We were looking at it. I mean, the amount of 70-plus yard massive plays get the blood pumping.
So we had a hold on Miami. It'll back the ball up inside the 10-yard line. And this is Cody Brown. And surges ahead with the second effort. We get a flag at the end of the play. It looked like he was down.
His elbow hit the ground. That should come back.
Elbow clearly down.
Ruling on the field, the line the game was made. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 0 offense. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
The freshman wideout, Romello Brinson, part of the Three Amigos with Jacoby George and Brashard Smith.
3rd personal foul on Miami today. And let's watch at the end of this play here. He's getting a hand up in his face.
Got no reason for it.
It's that second retaliation. It's the one they catch every time, right, wrong, or indifferent.
On the far side, Keyshawn Smith jumping up and down, trying to get someone's attention.
Probably trying to get the signal from the sideline with everyone else right now. You see them looking over where that sheet is put up on the sideline. Usually the spot where the play is getting signaled in by the backup quarterbacks. I think they're going to take a look at the spot on this play. His forearm is down.
I get the frustration now. Penalties, stoppages of play. While they review, we will step aside.
Young and the Tide pulled in front 31-17 in the fourth. 5-yard touchdown run, so that's more like it, right? Hang on. Ensuing possession for the Volunteers. Hendon Hooker goes up top. Cedric Tillman. This covers 70 yards. It's a 31-24 lead at East over on ESPN.
Josh Heupel is building something. Hendon Hooker, the Virginia Tech transfer. Meanwhile, the officials looked at Cody Brown's elbow going down, which we saw and we showed you, and they had marked it as he made the line to gain. Clearly he didn't, so they spent all that time reviewing an obvious play. You tack on the penalty on the back end. It is now 2nd down and 11 to go for Miami. All right, everyone take a deep breath. Here is Brown. Bouncing off defenders, doesn't go very far, only a yard, and it brings up 3rd down.
Great job by Tanner Ingle triggering there. Everyone a little off kilter. After a delay like this, all the reviews.
Multiple delays.
It's a struggle on the sideline, though, to keep everyone engaged here. We've talked about NC State dealing with losses at every level of the leadership on defense, and so being able to go over there and rally these guys in the huddle, so much of that, again, falling on the shoulders of number 32, Drake Thomas, the last of the starting linebackers from the beginning of this season, currently in the game, the man in the middle right now.
Press coverage almost all the way across. Van Dyke from his own end zone. He's in trouble and taken down from behind. Davin Van, former high school wrestling champion, got him. Let's check in quickly with Taylor.
After Miami's last drive and score, their defensive coordinator at NC State, Tony Gibson, telling his defense, you guys are self-destructing, and nickel Tyler Baker-Williams saying to his guys, we need to do a better job of communicating, something we should keep our eyes on in the absence of Isaiah Moore.
And they did it on that last play you saw. As Anish pointed out, press man coverage across the board. They stick to him well, and now Lou Headley backed up in the shadow of his own end zone. Got to get this punt off.
Pressure on the long snapper. Headley gets rid of it. It chases Thomas just inside midfield, a 47-yard punt, and prime starting field position for the Wolfpack as they try to retake the lead. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. With you for every mile on the road to greatness, Goodyear, more driven. So it has been a sloppy 3rd quarter here. Officiating, penalties on both sides. NC State now will start just inside midfield. They had success in the first half, going downfield, taking some shots.
It's time to get back to that. That was how they finished the first half strong. You have to back this front 7 off.
The speedy Porter Rooks motions out. He's in the slot. Person takes it across the equator for a gain of 4.
We see a player slow to get up for Miami.
DeAndre Johnson, grad transfer from Tennessee.
Might have been tired hearing the score update from Tennessee and Alabama. Defensive player is going to be looking around wondering what the hell happened in that one.
A lot of ranked teams have been challenged today, including number 18 NC State, down 4 on the road. Person again. And Jonathan Ford makes the stop. It brings up a 3rd down now for the Pack. And this could be 4-down territory.
Easily. And you're finally getting guys body on body up front here. As a running back for Ricky Person, for Bam Knight, what they're looking for is flashes of color. And so when you've seen all these Miami defenders getting in the backfield, the running back stops his feet, plants his foot, and starts to come back. Now you're getting a hat on a hat up front and cleaner lanes. And these backs are good with the vision they've got.
Person out of the backfield, turns the corner, 1st down, NC State.
And Thayer Thomas in the slot may have gotten away with a holdout here. They're trying to go for that natural rub action on the perimeter, but watch 5 goes up here and gets that tug right there. That should have been a hold and should have been coming back. A miss by the referees and a huge break for NC State.
Yeah, tried to pull on Gilbert Frierson. hasn't been the best third quarter for the officiating crew. Here's the blitz. Leary stands in, takes a huge hit, and completes the pass to Devin Carter for a first down inside the Miami 30.
A lot easier to get up after those plays when you see it land in your receiver's hand. But again, big number 0, James Williams, all 6'5", 225 pounds of him. But a great job across the middle of the field. You get those mesh routes, the crossing routes in the middle, and then it's on the receivers. All right, do I have zone? Is someone trailing me? And if not, settle down. Give your quarterback a spot to throw it.
On the ground, and Person goes nowhere, maybe a yard. Nesta Jade Silvera was there. NC State up front without Chandler Zavala. They're starting left guard, so they've had to reshuffle the line. Dylan McMahon moving from right guard to left guard. Derek Eason sliding in at right guard. Christopher Tootle in motion. On 2nd and 9, Leary. Screen pass to Person, it's tipped. And incomplete, 3rd and long.
Great job by Chance Williams there, because they had, as we see Person now slow to get up for NC State.
It's been a physical game. And now Person on one knee.
You see him jogging off gingerly there. It's always tough. We're seeing him here going for the screen and gets taken out low a little bit there. Anish, the worst part about that is when you get hit in the lower body like that, everything fires for a second. You assume the worst when you get up here, and so getting over, letting it calm down. And now you have the luxury of Bam Knight coming in here, another veteran back that you replace him with on a critical 3rd down.
Larry's got time. Williams in pursuit, and it's thrown away, intended for Rooks. Larry's done a nice job not turning it over. He came into this game having not thrown a pick in his previous 146 passes. Tack on 32 more without an interception tonight.
Both quarterbacks just mobile enough to get you out of trouble, to avoid taking a sack that would have taken you out of field goal range now. Critical to try and get points on the board.
Here's Dunn, who missed 3 field goals against Clemson. Holds the school record for most career field goals made.
They don't have enough people out here on the field. NC State's going to have to burn a timeout.
Only 10 men on the field. Dave Doran forced to use his first timeout of the second half. 4th and 9 for the Pack on the other side.
Great guest list for the Mannings tonight.
You've reached Peyton and Eli. Leave a message.
What's up, knuckleheads? It's Chuck. I'd love to do the show again and bring Shaq with me this time. Watch Peyton and Eli. You never know who'll drop by.
Does that mean we get Frank Caliendo? Can he get some rhythm going in this 3rd quarter?
No time for impressions for another review.
Here's Dunn. Hit from 33, this from 44. Just 1 for 5 over 36 this season. And Dunn's kick is good. 1-point game. Mike, as a player, when you have all these stoppages and reviews, and this 3rd quarter has been wholly disjointed, what does that do to you as a player?
I mean, first off, physically, you're getting cold out there, right? You're in the rhythm in the middle of the game here. Your offensive line, especially on NC State side, has been rolling. And now you got time to sit. And the defense has time to catch their breath. And it throws everything off that rhythm that you work so hard, especially as an offense, to try and capitalize on here. And it's just saying mentally locked in, too. You got all this time sitting around, standing around here. There's only so many coaching points that I've heard coaches talk about. You don't want to overcoach too much in these instances. You get all this time, and you get the tendency to want to fill the space here. Puts a lot on your veteran leaders. It's a little thing, but they're all big things.
1 point game, 7:09 to go in the third quarter. Yeah, still 7:09 to go in the third quarter.
I will say, as a former offensive lineman, I enjoyed the opportunity to catch my breath. I wasn't quite in the shape that Zach Martin was. Sue me.
Trenton Gill to kick it away. Kevin in the studio.
A&H Bryce Young has 352 yards passing, but Brian Robinson has had his way on the ground for Alabama as well. 15 yards here, his second touchdown of the game. He's up to 92 yards, 523 yards of offense, and they're knocking on the door again. It's 38-24.
All right, Kevin. He might need a couple more cups of Java before the night is over.
Could be a late one in there. Again, he's got the company of an offensive lineman. He's well protected. He's entertained. Eric McLean taking good care of Kevin.
So here we are, 25-yard line for Miami. Jalen Knighton is the running back to start this drive. The Hurricanes scored a touchdown on their first drive of the third quarter. 3 touchdown passes today for Tyler Van Dyke.
Delay game offense, 5-yard penalty.
And a delay of game after the kickoff. Play clock after a kickoff begins at 25. That rule was put into place a few years ago. And those are the mistakes that drive Manny Diaz crazy.
Especially we just talked about. You had all that time out. Talk about all this 20 times over.
You mentioned it, though. It's hard to stay engaged.
It is, and that's a challenge for a team with as young of a core as this Miami one.
Knighton into the teeth of that NC State defense. He gets 3 back. Miami with 2 of its starting offensive linemen already out for the season. But they did tell us they feel that unit is playing better. They've had continuity 3 games in a row. NC State told us they do feel Miami's vulnerable on the inside, and that's where the Wolfpack want to create havoc.
We've seen, you go all the way back to the Clemson game. NC State did a great job of using those linebackers to create mismatches there.
Over the middle, that's caught. It's Keyshawn Smith for a first down. 15 yards on the play.
When he's got time back there, we talked about cutting it loose till we're blue in the face. Tyler Van Dyke's got a strong enough arm to drive it in there.
Van Dyke will keep it. He's got pretty good straight line speed. He slides down. He's going to be about a yard shy. They mark it where you begin the slide. Little tempo by Miami. Here's Knighton. 3rd down. Drake Thomas the stop. Now we mentioned injuries on the O-line for Miami. Jalen Knighton now the starting running back with Cameron Harris out for the season. Of course, De'Ara King, the starting quarterback who was so good for this program, the transfer from Houston, opted for season-ending shoulder surgery, and he won't be back this year.
Ja'Kai Clark also had to slide in right down State Street in the middle of your offense. You're putting in new faces all over.
Rambo goes in motion. Van Dyke flips it downfield. He's got his big tight end, Arroyo, down the sideline, out of bounds. Another first down for Miami. 29 for Elijah Arroyo, the longest catch of his career.
And look at all the attention. 2 bodies on Will Mallory, and a great job. You didn't see it there. Tyler Van Dyke using his shoulders to influence the defenders looking out towards Mallory.
Van Dyke sending this one into the end zone. Keyshawn Smith got tied up with Derek Pitts. No flag downfield. There is one in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 48. Half the distance to the goal penalty, first down.
Corey Durden, the Florida State transfer, and this is to Dave Doran's point to us. too many penalties this year that have extended the opponent's drives.
Corey Durden was the same guilty party on the field goal attempt who jumped off sides. That's a veteran player. That's a guy who's a grad transfer from Florida State who you expect to have a little bit more football IQ in situations like that here. He stepped in well and done a great job for them with the injury, but you just got to have your head about you, especially down here.
There's Knighton breaking tackles inside the 5. Battle with the stop. 2nd down, 2 to go.
I like those counter plays. You get a couple of pullers going because for a young running back, defines the hole. I know exactly where I'm supposed to hit. Follow the big bodies and get behind them.
Knighton one more time. He's going to be a little short. 3rd down. Davin Van preventing the 1st down.
Trying to create numbers here. You get all these bodies into the boundary here, and then you try and sneak a run to Knighton towards that left side right here.
Knighton broke the initial tackle, goes backwards. NC State, the #1 defense in the ACC, standing up near the goal line.
Anish, what I don't like here is you put the whole formation into the boundary. You put 4 players over there to try and give yourself a numbers advantage, and then you run right into the teeth of it.
Was that the wrong read?
I think it was the right read, but I would have lined the running back up on the other side. Try and run to where you've got a numbers advantage there. You get all the defenders over into the boundary. Why not give Knighton and all that athleticism the field to work with?
Chip shot, 22-yarder. Borregales' kick is good. And that's a missed opportunity for Miami. You're right there on the doorstep against a top 25 team, and you only come away with 3. Kevin in the studio.
Anish, Golik's not going to like this. Notre Dame led 24-3. USC 14 unanswered in the 4th. Darwin Barlow punching it in. 24-16 game. Still about 9 minutes to go.
Why do you guys want to do this to me? I'm trying to have a great night here in South Beach with Anish Shroff and Taylor McGregor. This great game we got here. And you guys go and do this to me?
Well, hey, it could be worse. We could bring back highlights from the last time you played in this building.
Oh, wow. All right, you know what? 3:22 left in the 3rd quarter. Was wondering when you were going to pull the knife out and stab me right in the back with it. Unbelievable. Whew. I think I just heard another Roll Tide roll.
No. They rolled okay. All right, we're done.
I can leave.
3:22 to go, 3rd quarter. Miami up by 4. Canes 2-4 on the season. Looking for the first ACC win of the year. NC State looking to stay perfect in conference. They're 2-0, 5-1 overall. And a chance for Bam Knight. He's got the 20 and tripped up at the 21-yard line.
Oh, and he lost control of the ball there for a second. Lucky to land back on it.
College football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Cincinnati, #2 in the country. They got a scare from Navy. Oklahoma. That was a 4-quarter game. Controversial play at the end. Caleb Williams took the ball away from his running back on 4th down. Big conversion. A play that could have been blown dead for forward progress. Alabama starting to pull away from Tennessee. Ohio State, since the Oregon loss, has looked like a top 4 team.
And not to make everything about the playoff, because, man, there was so much fun that happened today that has nothing to do with it. If you're Ohio State, that Penn State loss, a tough one for you. You've got that Big Ten East slate still remaining, and you're going to need all the help you can get with some of those marquee wins.
Leary rolling to his right. And there's a flag down as he finds Thomas.
Offside, defense number 13, line up in the neutral zone. Penalties declined. The plays accepted. 1st down.
9 penalties now on Miami.
This is the part that can undo all that goodwill. Excuse me, it'll stay
It was
8.
declined, but right, yes, it was another. It ended up being a free play for NC State.
And Devin Leary took advantage of it, but this Miami defense got to get its head back about it now.
Leary to Knight. And Bam Knight goes down shy of the 35 at the 34-yard line. He picks up 3. Penn State, Ohio State next Saturday. The Nittany Lions lost in a 9-overtime game earlier today against Illinois.
It's a big win for Brett Bielema and that Illinois squad. A lot of talk during the week about comments made about his group in the trenches. And that group ended up being a huge part of why they won that day. Great testament to those guys going out and battling.
Knight again. Met by Jennings immediately, no gain. And it brings up 3rd down.
Been a really quiet night, Anish, for Devin Carter. Guy who we've talked about. Come on as of late as a deep threat for them. I think you got to try and find him a matchup here. You're going to see this bunch out here. Try and create some space for him and then allow him to maybe get loose around the sideline here. Let that point man create some room off the line of scrimmage for one of your great receivers.
Carter had the game-winning catch against Clemson. Leary's hit, and it's dropped. That was Devin Carter. If he catches it, that could have been a big gainer. And Tyreek Stevenson down for Miami, their top corner. 3 drops now for the Wolfpack.
Glad to see him walking off under his own power. But what a brutal miss here by NC State offensively. You see that clear out, and then Carter comes underneath, hits him right in the hands. I mean, he's got room, run after the catch. That was a great ball by Leary.
Another punt by Gill. His 7th punt. It's a fake. NC State with the 1st down and more. It's Penix who takes it inside the Miami 30. Eight days before Halloween, Dave Doran into the bag of tricks for a 40-yard gain.
And he pulled out the candy corn, the best in the bag, snaps it to the up back, and then look at the blocks there on the perimeter. Gets just enough of a seal, and then you turn into a lead blocker right in front of him going down. Just great recognition. And that's something, Anish, when you put those fakes and you drill them all week, do we have the look we like? If not, you get someone come up, calm it down, give a code word to take that off, and instead they had exactly what they drew up in the special teams room. Seam them for a 1st down.
From the Miami 26. They'll keep it on the ground. Person thundering through the secondary. And he's inside the 15. 14 more for the Wolfpack. They've got Miami milling in retreat.
This is this unit up front starting to set a physical tone again. Ja'Kai Clark, number 53, getting up onto a linebacker here and helping spring his back. Tim Beck and this group on offense, they had to stick with it for a while. It's been, excuse me, not Ja'Kai Clark. Sorry about that. Derek Eason on the NC State side here, getting up to that 2nd level. And the 3rd quarter mercifully comes to an end.
It does. NC State threatening. They're in the red zone. They're down 4. They're looking to go to 3-0 in the ACC. Miami's got a 4-point lead, looking for that 1st conference win. Start of the 4th quarter, Hard Rock Stadium. Miami leading NC State by 4. Anish Shroff, Mike Golick Jr., Taylor McGregor on the sidelines. College football primetime presented by Sonos. First down and 10 for the Wolfpack. Leary. Eyes upfield. He wants 6. And it's caught by Tootle. A sea of black jerseys. Tootle comes down with it. And the Wolfpack retake the lead. Oh, and they're going to bring it back. Illegal man downfield. Signal touchdown in the end zone for Tootle. The flag brings it back. And, boy, Dave Doran, from our conversation with him, this is going to drive him mad.
And I don't understand how it happens on that play because that's a naked bootleg.
Yes.
As an offensive lineman, that's pluses for everyone across the board. You turn and burn and run left, knowing you can't go downfield.
Dave Doran saying penalties at inopportune times. That's the one thing they've got to clean up.
I'm not going to lie, that's one of the weaker versions of that penalty we've seen. In an era of college football where RPO plays allow these guys to go 4 or 5 yards down the field sometime, that's a tad ridiculous.
1st and 15 now. From the 17, Leary steps up. He'll run. Sidesteps a defender, gets a block. Leary all the way. Touchdown, NC State.
Back-to-back calls. And watch the block from Ricky Person in the backfield right here. Number 8, the running back. Going to be leading up. Lead draw play right here. He sorts through the trash. And then he latches on to Wayne Steed there. And then the finish.
His longest run of the season prior to that was 8 yards.
Both these quarterbacks just mobile enough. And now you've got a little extra space. You got backed up from the penalty. The perfect call from Tim Beck.
And it's Miami now down by 3 after being up by 4. The Wolfpack up 27-24, 15 seconds elapsed. And this final quarter has the feeling of another fun finish between these two. Last year, it was Miami rallying from 10 down in the 4th quarter.
Look at this one. Give us up top.
Big smile by Tim Beck on the sideline.
You see it right here. Clear out perfectly.
Number 41.
And then the big fella getting up there right at the end, too. How did I shortchange the offensive lineman? Getting up to the 3rd level there.
That's an NC State team. If you heard Dave Doran after the BC win, and even when he talked to us, they feel with a 5-1 record, 2 wins in the ACC, the lone loss coming in Starkville to Mississippi State. They feel they haven't earned the respect. They feel they didn't get the bump they deserved after the Clemson win. This is a team which many do see as a viable contender in the ACC, but it is carrying a boulder on their collective shoulder. Kevin Connors, what do you got, my friend?
Anish, I'm here to rescue Golick from the depths of despair. Tyler Buckner on near the goal line. Takes it in from 3 yards out. Part of an 8-play, 75-yard drive. 31-16, Irish on top.
That's Tyler Nook if you Buckner, Kevin. Please credit me.
We'll put $1 in the cookie jar.
I'm so sorry.
Tyler Van Dyke, who's been so good in these second halves the last 2 weeks. 14 yards away from the first 300-yard game of his young career. Hands it off. Rooster. Jalen Knighton. Dropped by Tanner Engel after a pickup of 7. If you're just joining us at the very top of the broadcast, we played what Tyler Van Dyke said on Tuesday when asked about this NC State defense. He said, they're still the same guys we played last year. We put up 44 last year on them. We feel really confident. I don't think they can stop us. That was bulletin board material all week in Raleigh.
For a veteran group that's already topped in so many categories, you don't ever want to give them any extra, but when you've got Jalen Knight in your backfield,
thundering across midfield and inside the NC State 40. Knighton now the lead running back with Cameron Harris out for the season. He picks up 28.
A great seal on the right side of that offensive line.
Van Dyke to the air. Now he'll step up and he'll slide down. He'll lose a yard, 2nd and 11. How about Knighton? 160 plus all-purpose yards 2 weeks in a row. He gets a breather. Cody Brown is in. Taylor.
This week when I was speaking to Jalen Knighton, he said, I was made for this type of pressure to step up and be running back one. He said, since I started playing Pee Wee football back in 2008, I've always been the guy. He said, this is where I feel most comfortable when everything's on my shoulders, guys.
Pee Wee football, that's where he got the nickname Rooster. Had some reddish tint in that mohawk back then. Van Dyke on the out. That's Rambo. Yards after catch. And a first down, Miami. 7 catches for $118 for the Oklahoma transfer. Cody Brown hammers across the 25. Picks up 4.
This is a drive where you're starting to see, Anish, the benefit of an offensive line that's had bodies jumbled around. Now 3 games with the same 5 guys up there. You start seeing everything well together. You're tracking linebackers. Your double teams are tighter because you've communicated these things through with these guys now for 3 straight games.
Knighton back in there. He gets the call. And it's going to set up 3rd down. Ball at the 21-yard line. They'll mark it at the 22. 4 yards to go.
And Anish, I think if you get close, this is 4-down territory for you. The way your offensive line's been rolling, Knighton being able to make guys miss.
Even if you're just down 3. Low snap. First down, it's Rambo right at the sticks.
This is, again, where the challenge starts. NC State 4th in the ACC in red zone defense, top 20 in the country. Miami in the bottom, 100th, because now all of a sudden this cushion's going to disappear. Charleston Rambo on these last 2 receptions has had nothing but room on the outside. The window's tightened up, and we saw Tyler Van Dyke. Is he going to be able to cut it loose in the middle of the field?
Corner blitz. It's Knighton up the gut, gashing through that defense. And he's to the 10-yard line, a gain of 7. 17 carries, 72 yards for Jalen Knighton. Just his 3rd game back after a 4-game suspension to begin the season.
And he mentioned no longer splitting carries with Cam Harris, who's a great veteran, well-rounded player, dialed into their protection schemes. But that's also been the standard that Knighton's come up with. You combine that tutelage with his attitude. Gold.
They'll feed Knighton again. Inside the 5, 1st and goal, Miami.
Anish, for fans who have watched the ACC, look at the tempo from Jalen Knighton in the backfield here. It's something akin to what we've seen from him as he comes out of the game right now. If we get back to it, that last play, he was almost walking to the line of scrimmage. We talk all the time for Wake Forest about a slow mesh. And now we've got Van Dyke under center.
2 tight ends stacked to the left. Rambo in motion. Cody Brown in for Knighton. Van Dyke, trouble with the snap, able to cover it up. 2nd and goal.
This is what I was talking about in the last play, Anish. Jalen Knighton, watch him walking this down. Think about, we always talk about Wake Forest, that long mesh right there. A change in tempo for a young running back to have the wherewithal to understand, I got to get these linebackers to commit down, and then I've got the burst to go past there.
You miss Cameron Harris, the experience, the ability to pass block. Make no mistake, Jalen Knighton is their most explosive running back. Harley's the slot man. Van Dyke on the slant. Rambo! Touchdown! Back and forth we go.
Look at Tyler Van Dyke here using the RPO action on this last play. They're reading the safety, Tanner Ingle, number 10. Watch, he looks at him. His eyes are up. Ingle bites down, and he's able to deliver it right over the top here. That all happens because Tyler Van Dyke uses that ball action right there, holds the mesh point there in the running back's stomach, and gets that defender to commit.
And it's now Miami up by 4. 4 lead changes tonight. Second touchdown grab by Charleston Rambo. 9 catches for a $127. Manny Diaz, a native son of Miami. He's heard the noise. The vultures have been circling. People are talking openly about his future with the program. One game isn't going to change that. But do you see at least maybe the vultures not coming down any closer after tonight?
Absolutely, a huge ranked win here, and especially when we've heard from Manny, all the things he's talked about with this team showing up on the field tonight. I think that's important for people to see there's a vision and they're executing on it.
Bam Knight, shy of the 25. Kevin.
Anish, Brennan Armstrong is having another monster day here to Rayshon Henry, his 4th touchdown pass. Armstrong has also run for 2, nearly 500 total yards of offense. It's 48-33. By the way, Gojo, the Irish hang on to get to 6-1.
We talk about rivalries all the time. Notre Dame, USC, one of the best. I joked. They were the last team we played before Alabama in the national championship. We knew that was our buy-in into it, and still, I said to my dad the night before in the hotel, you come to Notre Dame to beat a team like SC. It matters that much.
Devin Leary rolling out, low throw, incomplete. Taylor.
Tyreek Stevenson, Miami's best quarterback, dealing with a left ankle injury. He is in there right now, but the last defensive series for Miami, he had it taped up, went back in, and then pulled himself back out because he was in pain. So something to keep your eyes on here.
If you're NC State, you got to go at him, too. You got to test that ankle out. If you're a guy who you've seen, go over there, get it taped up. You see that one sock down, so you know something's up. Let's see how it works.
They do go at him. And they pick up a first down. Keon Lassane. I'll pick up a 14, his 5th catch of the season.
Anish, I think about a double move out there at some point. You saw right there, if he's going to have trouble keeping his balance there in a spot where a guy's planting there, that'd be an easy spot for a hitch and go. Try and get a Mezzi on another big play down the sideline.
Mezzi not in the game. Leary to the air. Sends it downfield for Anthony Smith. Makes the catch in stride. Beat Isaiah Dunson downfield. Just his 4th catch of the season.
Anthony Smith said, I kept my helmet on for this one. And watch Devin Leary look the defense off towards the other side and then deliver an absolute strike. It's a great job of using his eyes on the back end to occupy defenders. And then put it where only your guy can get it.
He's a vertical threat in this offense. In the red zone now. Tootle motions out. Bam Knight, little trickeration. Thayer Thomas on the reverse. 2 touchdowns today, out of bounds after a short gain. 2nd down, NC State. Thayer Thomas, a couple of touchdowns. His brother Drake has been flying around at linebacker for NC State today. And coming off the field is Gilbert Frierson for Miami.
I had the chance to play college football with my younger brother. It's one of the coolest experiences for anyone out there. For both of these guys, especially being on opposite sides of the ball, to be able to watch your brother make plays while you're on the sideline getting rest.
Backup receivers in there for NC State. 2nd down. It's Lassane, Rooks, and Riley at wideout. Bam Knight gets the call. Not much there. Steed makes the stop. And you got a big third down. Down 4 as we come up on 7 minutes to play. And now they bring in Devin Carter.
A lot of backups in across the board. It's on your offensive line to provide extra time for your quarterback right now. Allow some of these guys who don't get as many snaps a chance to get open.
Carter not in there. It's third down. Rooks the motion man.
Got man coverage.
Leary chased. Can't get away. Throws it up in the air. It's batted down. The question is, was he down?
Rolling on the field, the quarterback was down.
And he was down. Bubba Bolden coming on that safety blitz. Bolden's a guy who struggled of late for Miami. And the knee.
I don't think it touched. It's going to be that right hip. I'm telling you, I think he
like
got
he
that
got
away.
rid of that, and that would change the spot. They may review this. 45-yard field goal for Dunn. I'm surprised they're not looking at this. Dunn's kick. No good, but there is a flag.
Running into the kicker, defense number 2. 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
Stevenson runs into the kicker. It's not roughing, so only a 5-yard penalty, no automatic first down.
Hey, that last play, though,
again, though, an incomplete pass versus a sack there. You're talking about major yardage there for your field goal kicker.
And some of that gets made up now with the penalty here, but I was stunned if they're looking at it, what they saw there, because I didn't see the knee hit, I didn't see a hip hit, and it looked like he was able to sneak that pass out before any part of him touched the ground.
So now Dunn will try again, this time from 40. This one is up. And good. 31-30. 5:39 to go. Christopher Dunn. Bank.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Sonos. Experience game-changing sound made easy.
At halftime today, Miami honored the greatest team ever, the 2001 team, a star-studded squad. All the players wore 26 in honor of the late Sean Taylor. Ed Reed, Andre Johnson, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, all part of that team. Miami having trouble with the kick here. It's Brashard Smith, the freshman, and he takes it to the 11-yard line. Kevin Connors.
Anish, check this out. Nevada down 8, under 10 seconds to go. Carson Strong to Cole Turner to make it a 2-point game. So, of course, you go for 2. The Wolfpack does. Strong finds Romeo Dubs, who makes the catch, but he's out of bounds. 476 yards and 4 touchdowns in defeat for Strong. Fresno State wins.
That's a tough one for the Wolfpack. Nevada Wolfpack, 2 words. NC State Wolfpack, 1 word.
That's why he's the best, folks. That's why he's the best.
Miami, they have played a ton of close games this season. You go back to the App State win at home the last 2 weeks. Certainly Virginia and North Carolina coming down to the wire. This time they've got the lead. And Van Dyke eaten up in the backfield. It's Devon Betty. This linebacking group for NC State depleted. Peyton Wilson out for the season. Isaiah Moore, their best linebacker, out for this game. He got hurt in the first half. And again, you look at what happened the last couple of weeks. Can Miami grow up? Can NC State bank on that defense, which has carried them to this point? Screen pass, Knighton, and there's the Wolfpack defense. Daniel Joseph with the TFL. It's 3rd and long, Miami backed up.
This is a prepared veteran defense. The play before, they peel the linebacker for the quarterback. Watch Daniel Joseph, number 99, reads it right away. Says, I'm getting home way too easy, backs out, makes the play. This is where the veteran group pays off. You're prepared for the situation.
Miami needs to get to the 21. And they'll just run it. It's Knighton. The crowd did not like the call.
Listen, at this point down here, with how that drive had gone for you there, preserving the football, making sure you don't put it in harm's way here, that was going to be paramount. And you had a light box look. We've seen Jalen Knighton break some of those.
So now Headley, one of the best punters in the country, will punt from the back of his own end zone. And Thayer Thomas, a terrific return man, waits at the Miami 45. Booming punt by Headley. Thomas chased back after a 50-yard punt. No return. NC State with the ball. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear to reach the end zone. All you need is drive. Goodyear, more driven. Let's check in quickly with Taylor.
After that last field goal attempt was down here on the sideline, went into the tent. He then came out with a heat pack around. He's been taking warm-up kicks right here, and with the fingers making the pinching motion towards his back. They just applied icy hot. He's still taking practice kicks, though, guys.
Downfield, incomplete. Wanted Anthony Smith. Go ahead, Taylor.
Said yes. So they just looked at him, asked him if he was okay. He said yes, but certainly something to keep your eyes on is NC State within a field goal.
Yeah, they need a field goal to take the lead, potentially win. Dunn's made more field goals than anybody in school history, so that becomes a factor now.
Colin Smith, the backup, taking warm-up kicks now.
Leary under pressure, ducks away, and it's dropped. Another drop by Devin Carter. He's had a tough night.
And in a really similar spot, they've been getting him on crossing routes, coming all over the field. And Devin Leary does a great job of avoiding pressure in the pocket. I mean, this kicking situation is going to change the way you've got to call this drive.
Colin Smith, who's the backup kicker, has not attempted a field goal in college.
And so now on 3rd and 10 here, you've got a Mezzi back out on the field here. You've got press coverage. You've got to get the ball to him.
Four-receiver look. Screen pass to Person. Breaks the first tackle and pushed out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th down for NC State. The Wolfpack have 2 timeouts. And what do you do if you're Dave Doran? Do you trust your defense one more time?
The way your defense has been playing, I'd be comfortable pinning them deep right here and trying to make them earn it, but the offense staying on the field right now.
They line up to go for it. Two-by-two look. Delayed pressure. Here's Thomas. And Miami makes the tackle in space. Turnover on downs. It's Cameron Kinchens, the true freshman.
Cameron Kitchens and James Williams, 2 young players in this secondary that these coaches have raved about. And this is what we talked about, the matchup all night. Stress them on the perimeter. See if you can challenge these guys to make tackles. That time, Miami coming up in the clutch.
It's still not over. NC State still has 2 timeouts. There's still 2:49 to go.
Back here, Miami leads NC State 31-30. And the challenge coming into this game, Miami's defense had struggled so mightily tackling in the open field. Thayer Thomas gets it here, and Cameron Kitchen's able to make the one-on-one play to put them in a position now to end this game on offense.
Well, they've got to make up some ground and at least pick up a first down against the stout NC State defense. The Wolfpack stopped Miami for no gain. Dave Dorn calls a timeout. He's got 1 left, 2:45 to go. Tonight's Downey unstoppable player, Tyler Van Dyke, talked a big game on Tuesday. He's backed it up with his play tonight.
Really has, and came out firing right away in this game, Anish. That was the challenge, to get him started early. Gives Rambo great opportunities. Jalen Knighton's been dynamite in both phases, run and pass today. And for Tyler Van Dyke, the next challenge is to finish. We talk about, they had to reinvent themselves in the middle of the season. Right down the street, new center, new running back in there, freshman quarterback. And for the numbers he's had tonight, this is a part of his playbook he hasn't yet had to execute in the game. 4-minute offense. Can you end the game with your team on the field, not give NC State one more chance?
And can NC State get one more stop? They've been playing most of this game without their best defensive player, Isaiah Moore. Van Dyke rolling to his right. And he just slides down for a big loss. It'll bring up 3rd down. We get a timeout by NC State. 2:38 to go. The Wolfpack now out of timeouts.
Timeout. The 3rd and final timeout of half. NC State.
I didn't love the play call, but the coaching point on the back end for Tyler Van Dyke, if it's not there, make them burn that last timeout. No, we've got a great punter. We can pin them back deep if we need to.
I think that's what you're going to see. You'll probably see conservative play calling here, bleed some more clock, and then you hope Headley, who's an All-American caliber punter, can pin NC State deep. The Wolfpack don't have any more timeouts. And again, Taylor reported earlier, Christopher Dunn, the kicker, we saw him get run into. Seemed like he was a little banged up. His last field goal hit the upright. It did go in. So that may be a bit of a question mark for NC State as well.
It's going to be huge, but right now, if you're NC State and you can stop them here, you're going to end up with much more time on the clock than you had. Remember at the end of the first half, no timeouts left for NC State. Able to manufacture big plays because at the end of games, at the end of halves, the defense changes. You're a little less aggressive, and now all of a sudden some different things show up.
And Manny Diaz also called a timeout there to help NC State. Van Dyke, he'll throw. He's got his tight end! Will Mallory with a first down. They put their faith in Tyler Van Dyke, and he comes through.
Faith rewarded. What a big-time throw. You had a 3-man rush. You drop 8. How is there that much room in the middle of the field?
You wonder if there's a part of NC State that was not expecting that play call.
For sure. We were sitting up here saying it was going to be conservative from here on out. We mentioned all the different bodies. No Isaiah Moore in the middle of that defense. So now Drake Thomas is out there trying to get him fired up.
Play clock down to 4, down to 3. They're going to attack on the ground now. It's Knighton. And they will bleed this clock. I go back to what Rhett Lashley, Miami's offensive coordinator, told us. Basically said, hey, we've got to play like we've got nothing to lose. You're going to see us be aggressive. They're going to put their faith in Tyler Van Dyke. The last 2 games, boy, Miami suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Missed a field goal at the end from 31 against Virginia. Then against North Carolina, they're in field goal range. A field goal ties it. Instead, a tip pass results in an interception. UNC wins. Manny Diaz kept on telling everybody this team is resilient. They can bounce back. There's a good team in this locker room. They're on the verge of knocking off the top 25 NC State team tonight.
Miami, 30
and we get a timeout by Miami, 1:07 to go. How about the growth in 4 games as a starter for Tyler Van Dyke? Talked to Big Game Tuesday. He's backed it up tonight.
Well, and you just mentioned it. This team had their coaches back. You all hear it inside the building. We're not immune to that as players here. I mean, I was on a team that ended up going through a coaching change here. You hear that noise on the outside, the way people talk about your coach. But he identified it, called his shot with this team, said there's a good football team here. And having to reinvent, again, in the middle of the season. You're not running the same offense for Tyler Van Dyke that you are for De'Aaron King. Jalen Knighton, while talented and confident, has not been the guy under center for you in there for the majority of the snaps so far, missing 4 games due to a suspension. And yet all of them have responded in this moment. The defense stepped up. It wasn't perfect, but they put themselves in a position to go into the sweetest formation in football. 2-type diamond victory kneel.
And Manny Diaz let slip a smile. Those have been hard to come by in this 2021 season. Who knows what Manny Diaz's ultimate fate is? But he too, like his quarterback, backed up his words from earlier in this week, telling people, hey, there's a resilient team. There is still something in this locker room. A lot of football to be played. They got Pittsburgh next week. That won't be easy. But tonight, Manny Diaz and Miami found a way. Late game, 4th quarter, against a very good NC State team. They made the big play. Van Dyke to Mallory, and Miami will get its first ACC win of the season.
Like you said, Anish, it's a long, hard season. We don't know what decisions are going to be made. Look at the joy in that moment. Wins are hard to come by in this sport. They're even harder to come by given the circumstances you're in right now. And you all went out there and had each other's backs, and now you get to reap the benefit of that. That's a teachable moment these guys can all take with them from here on out.
Tyler Van Dyke grew up tonight, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. By far, his best game of his career. A career that looks pretty darn bright going forward.
Poise, confidence, pregame talk turned into action on the field here tonight. That sends a message to the locker room of who they can trust under center.
Taylor.
Thanks so much, Anish. Coach, you guys have played in a couple close games the last few weeks. In your mind, how were you able to get over the hump and get a W here today?
Guys made some plays when it counted. How about Tyler Van Dyke? I mean, it's unbelievable. Third conference game. That defense is a hell of a defense now. I mean, no one moves the ball on him, and put 420 on him and throw for 325 as a freshman. So proud of him.
What did you see out of him today that you hadn't seen in the first 2 halves of the previous games?
More confident, you could tell. Decision making. I mean, you look at the way we came out. First drive, throwing the deep ball. You know, I mean, he did it all. You know, he didn't look like a young guy. I'm so proud of him.
What is the big say? What type of message to your critics?
Well, the critics. It's a message to the team. It's a message to the locker room. Because those guys have been putting the work in. They've been competing, and they haven't been getting the rewards. And tonight they got it. They played for 60 minutes. This is college football. They're going to be close, and tonight it went our way.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Congratulations. Anish?
Manny Diaz, just smile as wide as the panhandle tonight. The Hurricanes get in the win column in ACC play, knocking off number 18 NC State. Tyler Van Dyke, he said his team could take on this mighty Wolfpack defense. Backed it up with his play tonight. That's the swag they used to have in these parts. That's the type of bravado that you had. We saw the 2001 team here honored at halftime. 2021 gets them a W, 31-30. Your final from South Florida.